From the West Coast
to the East Coast.
From the prairies
to the Maritimes.
We all have the dream.
It's about wearing the maple leaf.
It's about winner take all.
It's about being a champion.
It's about another chance at the pinnacle of sport. It's about taking your team to where they've never been before.
It's about a bright future.
The future is now.
It's my dream.
It's my dream.
C'est mon rêve.
It's my dream.
The dream becomes a reality.
Next on TSN.
Kevin Martin says it's something he'll never forget. Salt Lake City, 2002 gold medal final stone, sliding just too far. Norway won the gold. Martin says now he wants another chance. They have dominated Canadian men's curling. They've won 4 Briers in the last 5 years. Randy Ferbey, David Nedowitz, Scott Pfeiffer, Marcel Rock, national world champions, but now they want Olympic gold. Beautiful Peggy's Cove means we're in the Maritimes, in Nova Scotia to be exact. And we're at the Metro Center in Halifax for 9 days of competition of this Roar of the Rings, the Canadian curling trials, and our featured match. What a way to get going with the 6-time national champion, Randy Ferbey, against Kevin Martin. And it really is a wonderful men's field.
It is, and experience is going to be key in my opinion because the pressure is immense here. So let's look at that field. Out of BC, 10-time Brier participant Pat Ryan. Jay Peachy only 1 time, maybe that's a factor. Randy Ferbey, we know about him. Kevin Martin, big team, went to the Olympics last time. And John Morris, 2-time World Junior champ. Great list.
Well, Jeff Stoughton hasn't had a great season, but he's a world champion, so you know he's ready. Glenn Howard's been to 7 Briers. Mark Daisy got comeback a couple years ago against Randy Ferbey. Sean Adams lost the final last year of the Brier, so he wants a piece of it. And the big surprise, Brad Gushue from The Rock has got, yes, you heard it here, Russ Howard skipping and pouring second. I don't think he'll brush, though, but everybody's going to have to go sooner or later through Alberta.
Yeah, there are 3 very good Alberta teams. Kathy Gauthier is also with us this week. She's with Kevin Martin.
Kevin, I'm looking at your team in the practice, looking very fit. Tell us about your conditioning.
Well, it's been important to us for the last 5 years. We've used the same trainer for 5 years now at Norm Lacombe's in Edmonton, and I think it's made a great deal of difference. It's made about a 9% win-loss difference over 5 years, so that's significant. Doesn't mean you're going to win every game, but win a little bit more of your share, I guess.
Kevin, more than anybody else in this field, you've been to a couple of Olympics before. How does that prepare you better?
I'm not sure it does early in the week, actually. I'm not sure it makes any difference, really. Where it may come in handy is if we can manage to make it till the weekend, or even on Thursday. You know, the collars get awful tight around here about Thursday, and it gets pretty exciting. And early in the week, though, I really don't think it'll benefit us, but late in the week, it may.
All the best.
Thanks a lot.
You know, we go back to the 88, 89. You think about Randy Ferbey then being at the top of his game. Well, he is right now the best team in this country. Look what he has done. 6 Briers, but 4 the last 5 years, and Randy's with Kathy.
Randy Ferbey, it has been 3 long years since you qualified for this event. Tell us about those 3 years.
Well, it's been a long time coming. You know, obviously we qualified, like you said, 3 years ago, and we've had 3 years of thinking about this moment, and finally it's here. We've done everything we possibly can to get ready for this, and there'll be no excuses, win or lose, at the end of the week.
Obviously a lot of difference in your team. The conditioning is obvious. What made you decide to focus on that?
Well, it's something we haven't looked at, you know, over the past few years. We've looked at the mental aspect, and I think the physical aspect is something that our team was a little bit lacking on. So at this type of competition, you need every little edge you can get, and we thought we could sort of improve our game that way.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
So we're ready to roar here in Halifax. They have been ranked the number 1 and 2 top teams in our country most of this season. Randy Ferbey out of the Granite Curling Club in Edmonton. Kevin Martin from the Saville Sports Centre. Here, this is the Roar of the Rings on TSN.
The 2005 Tim Hortons Canadian Curling Trials on TSN are brought to you by Tim Hortons Limited Canister and Mug.
Remember when you had to travel to find yourself? You had to stand at the edge to feel alive. Dreams were something you chased after. Nothing's changed. And yet, everything's changed. The newly designed Ford Explorer. The adventure never ends.
For centuries, the Strauss family harvested herbs throughout Europe. Practicing herbalists, they've been handing their recipes and processes down through the generations. 7th generation herbalist Jim Strauss learned the craft at his grandmother's side, gathering and tasting herbs from the time he could walk. Today, the tradition continues with Jim's son Peter. The Strauss Herb Company has over 50 unique herbal products available across Canada and around the world.
The WestJet Fan Draft is on. Your only chance to get drafted into the CFL with no football experience, which means you don't need an arm this strong or feet this quick. Plus, no linebacker will take you out. All you need is your die-hard enthusiasm. Enter online at CFL.ca for your chance to travel to watch your favorite team at the Scotiabank East and West Championships. If they win, WestJet will send you to the 2005 Grey Cup for a VIP weekend in Vancouver. Are you fanning up? Then enter the WestJet Fan Draft today.
The 2005 Tim Hortons Canadian Curling Trials on TSN are brought to you in part by Ford, built for life in Canada. By Strauss Herb Company, makers of the original Strauss Heart Drops, when only the best will do. And by Scott Paper Limited, proud sponsor of curling for 25 years.
And on this Saturday afternoon, we welcome you inside the Metro Center here in Halifax. This will be our home for the next 9 days. The Roar of the Rings, the Canadian Curling Trials. And it's time to meet these two teams, brought to you by True Value Hardware, Health just around the corner. Names very familiar to us. Marcel Rock, Scott Pfeiffer. Randy Ferbey throws the third stone and skips. David Netto in the fourth out of the Granite Curling Club in Edmonton. And Kevin Martin, his team of Don Bartlett, Carter Rycroft, Don Walchuk, and Kevin Martin out of the Saville Sports Centre in Edmonton. Time to read the ice now with Ray. They played on it once this morning, at least the ladies did.
Yeah, it's a great ice surface, Dick. There's lots of curl in the ice. Hans Vutrick is here from Winnipeg with an experienced crew. We've been here before. Around the center guard out in front, there's lots of curl. When you go to around the center guard, there's about 4 feet of curl. And there's no sign so far of frost out in this area. We're on sheet, the middle sheet, so there shouldn't be a problem. Hans says no. The humidity's down 20%. No knuckleballs, which means you must have a lot of rotation on the stone when you release it, or you could have some very interesting results, Linda.
Yeah, Ray, you really do have to have rotation because we're going to see these rocks really dive. And both of these skips, Vic, like to play the come-around game, so we're going to see a lot of action.
Randy Ferbey will be playing the red stones, Kevin Martin the yellow, and they decided the hammer in a draw to the button competition prior to the event. And so Martin will have the hammer in this opening end. And to get us going, the Ferbey lead is Marcel Rock.
Linda, just before we get into this game, I was interested to hear what Kathy had said, or the question she asked, and you having been to the Olympics as a participant, do you think that 3-year wait, that long time, does that weigh on you? Does it build on you? I mean, if of all the teams that are here, and I've talked to them all, it looks to me a little bit like Randy and Kevin may be the most uptight. Now, it's an instinct in me, but
how many were
I'm
thrown
wondering
through.
if that's a long wait for Randy in particular.
Yeah, now, I would have said yes, Ray, except that we know Randy has been at the top of his game. He has been playing. Some of the teams that have qualified for this week haven't been in the Brier or the Scott Tournament of Hearts the last year, and so they've had a long wait without that experience and that activity. I think these two teams have a lot of pressure on them because they are expected to win.
Yeah, there's no question they've been, as Vic mentioned, they're being the top two teams in the country, in the world for the last number of years. So all eyes are upon them.
Whoa.
You got to love the way they're starting here, though, Linda. You know, you can see top of the 8-foot, and then the corner guard called.
Right over. Hard. Go.
Trying to drag it over to cover. No, they won't. They'll leave it high.
That is going to be a big factor, Vic. There is so much curl late on this ice that if you drop the guard a little longer than expected, you're not going to cover the shot stone. So Kevin does have access to the rock in the house.
I watched the practice session yesterday, and boy, if you didn't get the rotation on the handle, they just will go sideways on you. And it's, so you just cannot throw it flat in any fashion. Looking for the roll. Nice start.
Yeah, tucks it 3/4 behind. Let's take a look at the ice times now, Linda, and they're brought to you by Ford, built for life in Canada.
You know, it's only the first day, but we really expect consistency with this ice, so we're looking at 14.5 seconds between the hog lines for the draw speed, and it's going to be very key that you keep to that 14.5, and brushing should be a big factor. You should be able to drag it a long way.
Scott Pfeiffer with the first of the second stones. It's the first men's draw. The Canadian curling trials.
They jumped on it and kind of straightened it up, Lyndon, and it kind of backed off a little bit. Didn't fall back, but certainly straightened up. You heard Randy say it backed up a bit.
Boy, lively house, though. That was enough to push it out the back.
And that's one of your favorite things when the house is alive like that, right?
I love it.
You love those lively houses. You should be in my house sometime.
with twin boys, I bet they're pretty lively.
It is lively, let me tell you.
Good. How are in-turn and out-turn?
In-turn and out-turn are just great. They're just about 2.5 inches taller than you now.
Uh-huh. Oh, that's nice.
Well, the fact that Scott Pfeiffer's been asked to hit this rock on the 12-foot will certainly give Kevin Martin, who has advantage of last rock, Linda, a chance to duck in behind one of those guards.
Go.
Is that a must play for Ferbey at this stage? Could he have ignored it? Granted, he's taking a chance, but he doesn't have the hammer.
No, I mean, if anybody was going to ignore the situation, it would be Kevin Martin right here. He could ignore it and go behind, but it rolled to the 8-foot, and obviously both teams have... Well, Kevin started out by setting up the corner, so I thought he might be a touch more aggressive in this end, but he's going to hit this. But looking for the rollout so he can go behind one of the guards he threw out.
A little interesting comment a moment ago about the amount of curl. We always know that we see big swing in the practice days and practice round. There's always a concern from the ice makers that the building gets filled up with the fans, as you can see in the background, and they sometimes give us a little bit colder ice on the first day, first draw. So a little comment so far that it's a bit straighter than they thought. It probably will change, and that adapting to the changing conditions is also a big factor.
It sure is, and that's where the experience comes in, Linda. That's teams like this. I mean, this is the best in our country, and quite frankly, the best in the world out on the ice. This week, and they know those little things. They play the tour. They play on great ice surfaces all year long. They've all played in Briers.
Don Walchuk throws the third stone for Kevin Martin. As I mentioned, these two teams, for most of the World Curling Tour season, ranked 1 and 2. Martin coming in with a record of 26 wins, 10 losses in all his Bonsteel play. Has won more than 37,000. The number 1 team is Ferbey, though. 40-8 his record. Nice hit and roll. Peeks out the other side a little bit. More than $54,000 so far.
Same way.
Probably a little up. I think this will go a little bit more.
11.
Except Marcel's didn't, though. Okay?
Guard didn't go.
1 year off, Linda. He hasn't lost that enthusiasm for money. Did you hear that?
I noticed that.
Yeah, go.
Whoa! Easy. Whoa, right off. Yep. Hard.
Late break, and it'll spin and sit back 8 behind the wide corner.
That's one of the things that
not
they're
much
really
there.
going to have to watch for. And these two teams, well, all these teams here this week, you're going to see very experienced front ends. But it's going to really be, you're really going to have to be cautious about jumping on the stone early, because you do have to wait for the late break.
Yep. Quiet. Oh. Yep. Hard.
Not enough. Couldn't save it, Bartlett and Rycroft.
Well, Kevin called them off, and then it made a little move.
That's great.
And it's great to see that there's big curl
there's no
around
way.
the corners
Okay.
as well
Yeah, I'm
as the
not worried
center
about
guards, but that's why he couldn't just draw through that hole. Kevin had to play a little bit of weight
Jeez.
and still lost it with the brushing.
Top 4, eh? Yeah, make it good.
Thought you'd ever hit that guard. Actually.
I heard Kevin say he thought it was going to get by. Must have broken late.
David Nedewin with a little Hollywood, little highlights. He and I have highlights. I just do the whole head.
Line good.
That's it. Maybe that's what we'll...
Line good.
He's just given him his nickname. We'll just call him Hollywood.
Hard.
Yeah.
Real hard.
Nice guy, David.
Come on,
Nedewin.
get it here, guys.
Come on.
Rocket Pfeiffer
Hard here.
wanted to drag it to the forefoot. This is where this brushing can pay off.
Hard.
But look at how that snaps across and peeks out the other side, and they couldn't get it. Just bites top 12.
Dave threw that pretty clean. Fair.
You heard the comment by Kevin. David threw that pretty keen, and look at how it curled. So he's going to take a little extra ice. Big late finish.
14, get me there. 14 should get here. Yeah, that was 15-3.
Now the way that stone ended up, Linda, is that a break for Martin?
He actually has the double guard to come around Vic. Yeah, you're right. A little staggered, a little tougher to get at if this rock is made well. He's just so
He's an
odd.
amazing guy, isn't he? He just hasn't lost a thing. Hasn't lost a single thing. First time he's testing us.
A lot of room.
Took a run at me at the banquet
Line's
last night.
good.
A lot of room. A lot of room.
Room. Yep. Hard.
Huge brush now. Rycroft, Bartlett, they got the two to work with. By the one easily.
Yeah, hard.
Well, by the second, take it all the way back. All the way back. 4, watch it, bites the button. Oh, we talked about how these teams got here.
Tough deuce if he puts it there.
And Ray, you mentioned it's been since 2003 in a win by in the Canada Cup.
Yeah, that's why I was calling
that got Ferbey his ticket in.
I'm with you.
Ferbey could have qualified about 5 times.
Oh, you know,
Yeah, 5 and
but
7.
what a bonus that was for the other teams in the Brier those years when he
Afterwards.
won.
Talking about bonuses, what a great shot by Kevin Martin. When Nedewin came up short, the rock at the top of the 12-foot, it really gave Kevin a chance to get there first. If David gets there
It looks
first,
like it's
then the
not gonna
whole
bury, and then, like,
situation
last 4
in this
feet,
end
right?
has changed. Now it's a good chance to score 2. I think all David's got is it freeze to the face of this, try and force Kevin to try and catch part of the forefoot.
Yeah, let's do a little more.
So trying to maybe put it right on the corner, is he?
Yeah, just try and freeze on the face of it, cut down the rings. That's all you can do.
That's not bad.
Coming down.
Get to the corner of this thing. Get it here.
Get to the corner.
We're to it.
Boy, right to the corner, and have a look. Did he get there for shot? It is close. It is close. Kevin believes it's his stone. How did Kevin Martin qualify for this? Well, he also came through one of the qualifying spiels, the 2005 Canada Cup, and he was a winner over Ferbey in that event.
That's going to hit on that one, too. Just take one.
I think it is yellow, too.
It's so tracky down there, it might not curl.
You couldn't get a tidbit in there, could you?
No. But you know, you go back to what you say, that is as good as Nedohin could have done, because now how much he could you believe he could even grab enough of the button for a second point?
Well, if you could throw some weight, there's no question.
Make it, but
we'll just listen to them.
Throw it away, guys. Don't even think about it. Throw it away. One's good.
Yeah, this is the power of Don Bartlett on this team. He has convinced his skip that it's too difficult, too risky, Vic, to go after.
No need. You hit it wrong, you get two.
See, the trouble is, if you throw any weight at it, you're going to move the yellow, and it's just going to jam on the red on the other side, and they're not sure they can get enough weight at it to move the red that they're hitting out. So he's just throwing it away. You heard Don Bartlett. Let's take a single.
Nedohin having a look. They're going to call for the measure, it seems, just to make sure.
But more importantly, Vic, what two fantastic shots, one by each skip in this end.
Measure just for
I mean, if David doesn't make that, he's giving up a deuce. And Kevin made a great shot to get there first.
Kevin's just came that little bit deep, which allowed the freeze, but what a freeze. Talk about forcing the opponent to one. What a difficult way to do it, having to make a corner freeze on the button.
If this is any indication, we're in for a great day.
No question about it. It is yellow, scoring one. Martin will pick up the first point here in this first end. The roar of the rings, the Canadian curling trials are underway on TSN.
At True Value, we know places in Canada where kids are encouraged to throw rocks at houses, and we even like to give them a little help. That's why we applaud and support all the Canadians who coach, instruct, and organize events, from the grassroots amateur level all the way up to the national championships. True Value is proud to be the official hardware supplier to curling's Season of Champions, and future champs too. True Value, around the corner from your house.
All the way from the craftsmanship to the perfect pour. All the way from its introduction to becoming the #1 light beer in the world. All the way from an exacting brewing process to the easy drinking taste. All the way from the line to inside the club. All the way from the brewmaster to the bartender. When it goes down this smooth, make it a Bud Light. Smooth all the way.
Just in time for the holidays, Peoples has this $3.99 half-carat bracelet, now $1.99. This $5.99 1-carat bracelet, now $3.99. This $9.99 1.5-carat bracelet, now $4.99. And this $7.99 diamond baguette band for just $3.99. Hurry in, quantities are limited. Exclusively at Peoples, the diamond store.
A wide stance keeps you steady on your feet. So mounting the shocks outside the frame widen the stance of the Ford F-150. It's the first pickup to do this. Good luck knocking this off its feet. We keep thinking about tough because we want you to drive a Ford.
Take on winter with Stanfield's Polar Therm, the ultimate winter underwear. Enter Stanfield's Beat the Freeze contest, brought to you by OLN and TSN. You could win a trip to Sun Peak Resort in British Columbia, courtesy of CAA Travel, or a Stanfield's prize pack. Hit tsn.ca/OLN to enter. Then test your skills for bonus entries. For every pair of Polar Therm underwear sold November 14th to December 11th, a donation will be made to Raising the Roof, a charity dedicated to long-term solutions to homelessness.
Let's begin our updates. Opening day men's draw first. It's Dacey and Adams. They're clubmates. They're both out of the Mayflower Club here in Halifax. Sean Adams, he was the runner-up to Randy Ferbey, last year's Brier. Mark Dacey was the 2003 Brier champion. And Adams, with a quiet stone, may have been able to get 3, but look at the 2 that are buried behind that center guard. He'll say, I'll take the 2 and run. That's what he gets. He's up by a pair over Dacey. Jay Peachy out of the Golden Ears Club in Maple Ridge, and Pat Ryan from Kelowna blanked the first end. Glenn Howard scores 1 against Brad Gushu from St. John's, Newfoundland. Our featured game, of course, is Kevin Martin getting his single against Randy Ferbey. Ferbey to have the hammer when we get back. And John Morris from Calgary against Jeff Stoughton from the Charleswood in Winnipeg blanked the first end. Here at the Metro Center on a Saturday afternoon on TSN.
Well, as you look across the ice, then the really some interesting matchups now with Russ Howard holding the broom and throwing second rock for Brad Gushu, and then he's playing against his brother Glenn, who is the skip, of course, of his team, and it's you know, it brings up so many memories for all of us. The Howard brothers on opposite sides now, but
we're not. Well, you know, that's maybe one of the more interesting stories is the 5th players who have been asked in both men's and women's play. When you look at the fact that Russ Howard initially was asked to be a 5th, now plays 2nd and holds the broom. You've got Wayne Madaw, who is the 5th player for Glenn Howard, and you've got Scott Bailey, who's Madaw's lead, is the 5th player for Kevin Martin. Now, Martin, I understand, because of Don Bartlett's wonky back, that is really a defensive call, don't you think? I mean, they're planning for that possibility.
Smart, we might say. Yeah, I think.
And remember, of course, that a 5th player can come from anywhere. You don't have to qualify through the same province as the team you play for. So we do see some very interesting 5th choices on both the men's and women's sides. There is Scott Bailey looking on and ready to come in if needed. And we talk about preparations, and the preparation also includes the 5th player along with coaches. We're seeing more coaches here this year. They're all doing things behind the scenes so these teams can be their best.
Kathy King, the former Canadian champion out of Edmonton, is the 5th player for Sherry Madaw. And we'll see the 2nd draw of women's play tonight. But, you know, when you go back to those original trials we saw a couple of years ago, you're right, you don't have to qualify out of a province. You don't need a residency. So that's why we had all-star teams those first couple of years, remember?
Well, the first year there was actually teams selected. The last few years, though, qualifying through the Bonspiel circuit, you could have a team of a variety of different provinces. Much more open end as we see them try to generate points through hits and rolls.
Thank you.
Using the 1 guard. And now there's a way to get a good look. Brian Moore taking a good look at the Ferbey team and seeing if he can figure out something to help them against his great Martin team.
Dan Hollowaychuk was there as well. He's the 5th player for Randy Ferbey. Kathy Gocha.
Well, Vic, I'm listening to your discussions, and I absolutely agree. It's interesting to look at the fifths, but it's also interesting to look at who's traveling with the teams. We have sports psychologist Ken Bagnall for Colleen Jones, we've seen for years, but Jennifer Jones traveling with Dr. Cal Botterill, Tom Patrick with Jeff Stoughton. It's saying that these teams are really looking to be mentally tough at the end of the week, as Kevin Martin said earlier.
Yeah, that was a great comment by Kevin, and he's absolutely right. You know, you maybe aren't going to be quite as, you know, early in the week up so tight, but as it gets, he used the expression a little tight in the collar, and it does happen in all sports as you move along, especially in curling, because everything goes a little bit slower in some of the other reaction sports. So as you move through the game, you can find the 8th, 9th, and 10th then a little bit more pressure, and also through the week, the pressure builds and builds. So you need ways of being able to handle that, all that adrenaline that builds up and can cause some of the problems.
And we talked about experience being such a factor. That is one way to cope with the pressure. Don Walchuk, to me, is one of the keys, not just his experience, but that weapon he brings of the big weight, the big hits and rolls and runbacks.
Yeah, that's an interesting point, Linda. And as they play a a simple end here, a more open end, it's kind of interesting how both these teams, who are considered to be two of the best teams in the entire world, and they kind of have different methods of going about it, their job. You're right. Kevin Martin does rely on and does use that big weight ability by all his team members to move things around, to clear things out, more so than Randy Ferbey, who plays the much more of that, Vic, the angle freeze, the tap back, the pushover type shot. But they both, their net results are always so good. You know, they're tough teams to beat. So they are an interesting study in this game.
It's also a very big rivalry, and one we don't see very much because they are from the same province. They can't both qualify for the Brier. So there's a big rivalry, and I'm sure there's little things they do out there against each other that they don't do against other teams. They try to do a few different things because they are so well known to each other. Maybe change up the strategy a little bit.
And you speak of the Brier, our coverage
Just same weight.
will begin March from Regina. March 11th to be exact. We'll have a week-long coverage. Tim Hortons Brier on TSN. A very quick second end here up and down the sheet. This is Randy Ferbey as we play third stones. Ferbey with the hammer.
But I think, for the example, the first two ends, Ray, that Randy has played a few different shots. For example, that last one, I'm a little surprised that he would make that play. So I think that the opponent in this case is a factor about the plan they've come to the ice with.
Good point, Lou, because, I mean, if you're going to play that shot, you must roll into the rings. You have advantage of last rock. I was absolutely surprised as well when he walked up to play the hit. I thought he'd play the come around. It now gives Kevin Martin a chance to get in behind that guard. Top of the forefoot. You can see how much ice they're taking. You know, it's a good 4.5 feet, so it's moving big time. I couldn't agree more. I was a little surprised at that call by Randy. I guess they just feel maybe a touch too early in the game.
Swap the room. Top 8. Yep.
Maybe
top 8.
Little girl. Let's go. Come on.
Come on, girl.
Nobody better in the game at judging a stone than Don Bartlett, in my opinion.
Everybody out. Walchuk, Rycroft, Bartlett.
Sorry, guys.
And all that work gets it top 12.
Well, they hammered it all the way, and it didn't. That'll keep it straight in itself, but they didn't get the length, the movement that they needed.
Nice road.
Wanted that deeper. Just a little underthrown by Kevin.
Want to make a play on it or draw around? I'll make a play on it. Okay.
If it was buried a touch more, maybe.
Yeah, I know. He's got a pretty easy run if we get around there. That's the only thing.
That is another difference between these two teams. Kevin Martin is really the decisive skip. Occasionally you'll hear Don Bartlett come in, but on this side, David Nedwin works with Randy Ferbey, and really the whole team gets involved in the plan. And you heard David say to Scott, hit or draw, and they've decided on the hit.
We got that started a wee bit, Linda. He's going to be on the guard, I think.
Try not to chip it in.
Just got it going. Meaning, just as you release the stone, you just kind of start it over, turn it over a little bit. And
Sorry, I was thinking Scott's moved a lot too there.
All the teams given 73 minutes plus 2 one-minute timeouts to play their game.
They were just thinking they needed a little more ice on that last shot, and that's the tricky part, as I mentioned, as the game begins, trying to figure out the spot.
Any
And now we'll
chance
see
to get
it.
it on this side? Probably
Vic.
not. Hey,
Not much, no.
Just listen to
A
them.
little buoy. Just a bit. 14 is all it is.
yeah, they could have used a little more ice. I honestly feel, though, they were right behind that sheet, and it was right down the center. And
Okay,
it looked to
top
me
four,
like David
top
just
four.
threw it a little bit soft, just got it started a wee bit.
Should be plenty of weight.
They could have used a
Line
little
only.
more ice as
Good,
well,
line
I
good.
guess.
Plenty of weight.
Mine's good.
The team is saying it's a little bit gluey on this side. 14 seconds.
Back four.
So that is a little strong.
So back 4 is what you're hearing Don Bartlett yell
Let her
out.
die.
Oh, I touched that rock there.
Okay, that's okay, Don. Oh, well, that's good.
Boy, it really did slow down, too.
So Martin lying 2 without the hammer here in the second.
You could try the double.
Yeah. See what they like. Yeah. It's fine. Throw the double or whatever you like. I know what to do. Follow through, Fife.
Gonna try the double?
Yep. Here's a great look at it.
Double to blank. Final stone here in 2.
Yep. Oh. Oh. Yep.
Now, Brock, fight one more time. Run it back, and they'll drive it by. It'll be a steal of 1 for Martin. So Kevin Martin with a 2-0 lead through 2 here in Halifax.
They're here.
Let's give Tyler's mom her gift.
I can do it.
Come on, buddy, let's go.
My mom says I say thanks.
For those who are always there for you, why not give a Tim Hortons canister, including 5 packets of their favorite coffee for only $10.49 plus tax. Or the mug, only $6.95 plus tax with 1 packet.
And best reaction to a scarf goes to, oh, Kate and Jeff.
A shimmery scarf from Old Navy. Are you asking me to marry you?
But it's
The answer is yes!
scarf.
It's the Gifties featuring Old Navy scarves, only $15. Here are the nominees for Best Inspiration for a Gift.
I think I'm gonna get my husband an Old Navy flannel. Yeah, me too.
Hi, are there other nominees? It's the Gifties featuring Old Navy flannel, only $17.50.
My grandson said it would be easy to play poker online. He was right. Now I can beat him and his college buddies every Thursday night.
Learn to play poker with thousands of other players right now at partypoker.net. You can check your email. You can have fun playing poker at Party Poker. Party Poker, the world's largest poker school. It's fun and real easy.
Imagine you sign for a package for your neighbor, a Samsung 40-inch LCD TV. To make sure it's undamaged, you get it out. It's stunning. You wonder where your neighbor will put it. It looks terrific. Everyone loves your new Samsung TV. The cinematic picture, the sound. A few days later, your neighbor asks, did you sign for a package? And you ask yourself, did I sign for a package? With a Samsung LCD TV, it's not that hard to imagine.
New smoothies from McCain. Ready just in time. New smoothies from McCain. Ready, just in time.
You'll shine with the sleek and stylish razor, only at Rogers.
We'll continue with our updates. The game between Jay Peachy out of Maple Ridge, BC, Pat Ryan, Kelowna. They blanked the first. This is the final stone for Peachy, who qualified out of that Brier of 2004. Against Pat Ryan, the former Canadian and world champion. Trying a straight back raise. And not quite enough. That Yellowstone now back of the 4-foot. That shot stone 1-0. Steal of 1 for Pat Ryan. Well, right across now the other side of the Metro Center. Dacey and Adams. Sean Adams from the Mayflower had scored 2 in the first. And this is Mark Dacey, former Brier champion. Tough, delicate shot. Little rub here. Might score him 2. Dacey. Front end, Andrew Gibson, Rob Harris, got Bruce Lonis at third. Has to move a stone off the edge of the button if he can. There you see it. Can you move that back a little bit? Touch it back, and he does not. He spins off. It's a steal of 1 more, and Adams with a 3-0 lead. And in our featured game, right in the center of it all here at the Metro Center, it's Kevin Martin with a 2-0 lead over Randy Ferbey as we go to the third.
I don't think we could talk a little bit about that last end. We were both surprised when Randy Ferbey hit that rock that was at the top of the 12-foot and didn't try to come around at that point. And as a result, they ended up, David had to make a tough double to get out of trouble, and he didn't do so. So a 2-0 lead for Kevin Martin.
We talk about pressure in the event and how big the carrot is going to the Olympics, but I think this is a little example. The Ferbey team we've seen go to so many championships look so calm, but in my opinion, they don't look like themselves. He's just playing a little more open, Randy Ferbey is, and really respecting, of course, Kevin Martin, but you really have to stick with your own game. And here we go with a come around.
They got the corner guard up, threw it up there, and that almost snuck out the other side too, Victor.
Yep. Updating you on the other games, Glenn Howard has picked up another point. He's up by 2-0 now over Brad Gushu, and John Morris, former world junior champion, has scored 2 against Jeff Stoughton. Stoughton has the hammer as they play in the third.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. That's good. It's good.
All the line. But Kathy touched on it, but I was really impressed with in the men's field and the women's field, the condition that all these athletes are in. You can just see remarkable differences in their physiques as they've really worked hard at getting themselves in shape for physically for this event, and it's just great.
Not in.
Really, the Ferbey team has raised the bar for a lot of teams. Marcel Rock and Scott Pfeiffer worked so hard at the brushing, and to do that, you need to be physically ready.
Sure.
And to me, they're just amazingly consistent. They're always at the top. They can win with offense or defense. The only thing that concerns me a little bit is Randy's talked about retiring, and this is the one thing missing from his resume, but you can't think about that. You have to put aside everything but going out and performing your best.
Back line. Hard.
Kevin ran off the corner guard, and Randy put it back up. Didn't quite get it covered.
On your half. Yeah, I think someone can turn around.
When it comes to Kevin Martin, we know what he brings. He brings a lot of different options, but in particular, the big weight weapon at Don Walchuk at third and Kevin, really the whole team. And because they won last time in 2001 to go to the Olympics, we know they like to play at this time of year. They're good on the Bonspiel circuit. The only little question mark is Don Bartlett. He is very key for his skip in a lot of different ways and key at judging the weight. He may have to be pulled, but they have a great guy in the wings, and that's Scott.
All right, gotta go.
Scott Pfeiffer.
Hard line, hard. Go.
Big brush.
Go.
Rock. Nedouin. And that is the curl from the outside in. Wow.
Yeah, that's a big miss. A chance to lie two.
What do you like? Back.
You look at the control zone, we talk about those stones tight to the rings, and those yellows are in a beautiful position to be moved up. The red not quite so great. So at the moment, if Kevin Martin can get rid of this one rock in the rings, he's setting up this end really well and not giving Ferbey the chance to do it first.
Don Walchuk. Have you been surprised? I think the teams have been surprised a little bit by the curl.
Well, it's very similar to the way it was yesterday. I think they thought it would be a little straighter, as Linda mentioned earlier, but it just it really isn't.
Very nice.
It's moving big time. What Linda was talking about, Vic, is this area here, of course, this control zone. You can see these stones are in a great position to be moved up by Kevin Martin. That's the area of the ice that you try to control. Controller zone.
Oh, Leonardo didn't realize that he was into curling all those years ago.
And that's the guy that can really use those control zone stones too. Kevin Martin can move them back, tap or run back. That's their weapon.
So even a hit and roll here by Ferbey wouldn't necessarily be safe.
No. That's the one thing they do. I mean, a lot of teams, good teams, can run them back, touch them back, move them back. But Martin can run them back and just exchange positions.
Same shot. This is a curious little line out here because you would think it would start to break with that kind of weight, but they haven't been able to find it.
No, it's a little further out, Victor. You're absolutely right.
A little more. Whoa, up. More weight.
No, guys. I came back. Came back a little.
We're creeping up the house. If they do get a roll, this stone will only be in the 8 foot.
We'll have to make a roll, or else he's pumping that middle one. Quarter behind. He's pumping something up there. Same weight. Touch more. Whoa. Oh, touch more. Oh, right off. 11 up.
Ferbey saying now or never for this roll, Linda, is that his point?
He mentioned the raises, Vic. Those yellow stones available to Martin.
That's good.
That's a little bit.
Well, you heard Randy Ferbey talk about this. He said, you know, we better get the roll, or he'll raise that up on us. And
It might. Won't curl in this spot, probably.
So what he's going to do, he's going to hit this one here. There, drive it back onto the one that's just under there, and try to come over onto this one a little bit.
Much
Maybe push that in a bit. Pretty early in the week to be quite that fancy.
Well, there.
Close. Off. Oh.
Kevin Martin in his first. Running it back.
That's not bad. Still got rocks.
So what do you do now? Come around or tap up the red?
No, I think he'll come around here, Vic. The raise is there, though.
Yeah.
Right there.
Hey.
Just a little bit off with that last one, and needed to curl a bit more for Kevin, so it does leave more of the house for David Netawin to use as he plays the come around. So is that in or out, Pick?
Out.
We'll remember that if there's a measure.
This is a good opportunity. We always talk opportunities. A great opportunity for David Netawin to get this rock around the guard to the top of the forefoot.
Real hard.
Real hard, Piper and Rock.
It's on the guard already, I think.
All over it. And now they're slightly overlapped, those two stones. And Linda, that center line stone, it's on now.
Thanks,
No, this one's choked off right now. In order for him to make a bump, he's going to have to make the wide one.
Yep.
Where would you put the broom? I figure that much, eh? I like that. Okay. It's not going to do anything for the first half of sheet.
Right. Okay.
Because even if we bump it right on the nose, it's not
so
you know,
bad.
It makes it a tough shot.
Okay.
Yeah. Love to get this on the button.
Playing the raise, the bump, Kevin heard him say, on that stone. Push it in here. That area there.
Okay, he's got his front one.
Even if I hit it on the nose,
I was thinking it would go wide out for you around.
you can push it straight back.
Linda, is that a reason for concern for Martin when he has to say to Bartlett, where would you put the broom here? I mean, we're in the third, and he's already questioning the ice call.
The difficult part is as soon as you increase the weight even a little to a raise or a tap, it curls a lot differently. So Don Walchuk helped him a little bit. But this is an interesting position because the pressure has all been on David Netawin. Randy Ferbey, they've been struggling a little bit. So this raise, if it's made well, will really put the pressure on. There will be not a lot left. You heard Kevin talk about the break. Where will it start to curl?
He said it would do nothing for the first half of the sheet.
Yeah, it's been really straight out there. Look at that.
Oh, he did nothing for 3/4 of the sheet.
Yeah.
The unfortunate part for Kevin Martin is not just that he missed the shot. Of course, he would have liked to make the raise, but he did leave more of the house available
He
to
opened it up.
Same as mine. What do we need here?
David's going to play the intern and stay away from the wide shot. Play down the center to the 8-foot.
We can take a little more, can't we? Can we take a little more, Randy?
Now, I might say, you know it runs straight. Why would you play with the curl and go away from the center line? Why wouldn't you play the straight side?
He's probably looking for the consistency of speed, Vic. They don't really have to worry about line in this place. They know it will curl. It is drawing to the smaller part of the house, which usually you avoid, but he's really only drawing against the one in the 12-foot.
And it's back 12.
Go, David.
Nice throw, says Marcel Rock. Nice throw indeed. 8-foot for a single.
This Sports Center update is brought to you by the Gifties and Old Navy.
Hey everybody, Corey Warren back here inside the Sports Center newsroom in the early edition of the show coming up at 6 o'clock Eastern time. Quick peek at the stories we're following for you today on this Saturday. 10 games on the NHL skid today. Joe Thornton will look to continue his fine start with the San Jose Sharks as they face off against the Maple Leafs tonight in Toronto. Sherry Ford will have a full preview of that game. Zdeno Chara's fight last night with Tim Gleason of the Los Angeles Kings will cost the Sens defenseman a 1-game suspension and his coach Brian Murray a $10,000 fine. And the Saskatchewan Huskies and Laurier Golden Hawks Hawks will meet today at Ivor Stadium in Hamilton as they square off in the Desjardins Vanier Cup. You can watch the game live right here on TSN, 3 o'clock Eastern Time. That is noon Pacific Time. All this and a whole lot more coming up on the early edition of SportsCenter, 6 o'clock Eastern Time, 3 o'clock Pacific Time. We'll have all the day's news and highlights then. More curling on the way.
They say football is a game of inches. I wish we had inches.
The Scott Tournament of Hearts, proud sponsor of women's curling for 25 years.
These are standard GE halogens. These are GE Nighthawk headlamps. They're 30% brighter, so you can see farther and drive with confidence. GE Nighthawk headlamps.
Oh, hi there. You're looking for a gift for your mother? Any ideas? Computer? No? Xbox? A TV? A DVD player? A CD? A gift card?
Go on, man, it's speakers!
Ooh! They're right over here.
Make holiday shopping fun again. Satellite radio is now available at Best Buy. Get a Delphi XM satellite receiver for $199.99. Best Buy.
Critics are calling Rend the must-see film of the year. Thrilling. 2 thumbs up.
I knew we'd hit it off the moment we met.
Rend, now playing in movie theaters.
Strauss Herb Company, because there are options.
TSN HD, redefining the image of sport. TSN HD is proudly presented by JVC. JVC, the HD technology leader.
Colleen Jones. Marie-France LaRouche. They are just 2 of the 10 women's teams in competition here at the Roar of the Rings, and we'll see them this evening when we join you again on our opening day of coverage. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. Jones against LaRouche, and both of them losing their opening games this morning here at the Metro Center. Sherry Madaw was a winner over Joanne Rizzo, and you see that Kelly Scott beat Jones. Difficult day for Jan Betker, former gold medalist, 54% she curled and losing to Lawton. And Sherry Anderson was a winner over Jennifer Jones, 8-5. So Ferbey's on the board. It's 2-1. Martin leading as we go to the 4th. Martin playing the Yellowstones with the hammer.
You asked an interesting question, Vic. Well, why would David go to that in-turn draw for his single point? It's just that they weren't trusting, to me, and I just don't think they're trusting that wide out-turn shot. If you do get it started a little bit, it seems to go sideways on you. But once again, if you put it outside, or if you just get it outside to a certain point, it does run kind of straight down there, like Vic mentioned. So he just felt more confident with the in-turn draw, and he made it look pretty simple. But I am impressed by the way you picked up on a number of those situations, having had a whole year off. I mean,
Lots of room. Line's good. Line's good. Line's good. Line's good. Clean. Over there. Clean it. No, we're there. Yep. Wait only. Wait only.
We're there. This is one of those interesting starts to the end where we have the one guard and then the series of come-arounds, each trying to outdo the other for angle. Yellows are in a pretty good spot right now.
Well, we always talk about the shot of the 90s was the run back, and that became the big shot in the 90s. And if there's a shot for this new century, it certainly is that angle come-around scenario where we see this situation develop many, many times. And if the rock comes in behind in front of the tee line, the next one is frozen. Now another freeze. And this is kind of how the way the game is played.
And it's all a result of the free guard zone, and just that draw to the 4 foot. It's become a 4 foot game, as you said, right?
It is, and what a wonderful move the CCA made back a number of years ago. The World Curling Federation made as well, of course, and we went first of all to the 3-rock rule and then to the 4-rock rule, and it's curling now is just so interesting, and it was a matter of inches before. Now it's a matter of millimeters.
The end.
Let's continue with our updates now, and a quick look at the game between Jay Peachy and Pat Ryan. And Ryan up after a steal of 1, and Peachy is in some trouble. Out of the Golden Ears Curling Club in Maple Ridge, Pat Ryan from Kelowna. And as the rocks come into view here, you'll see mostly yellow. There they are. So this is a draw against 3. And now this is going to be life and death to drag it to the 8 foot. Now he probably needs at least good 8, maybe even a top piece of the 4.
Shot.
And he's going to come up light. 1, 2 for sure. Steal of 2 for Ryan. 3-0 lead.
Very nice, Brady. Well, can you run it straight back? Onto ours? No, I don't like it. You don't like it? Why doesn't he like running that? Come around. No. Let's go this way. Yeah. 6, 7.
We talked about the interesting angle in the house, and that is one reason Randy Ferbey isn't playing the run back. The red is in a position where it could be squeezed by playing the one in the front onto the yellow-red yellow combo. But this is a tough come around.
Whoa. 7, 8. No. Stay with it, Dave. I thought we were going to try and get a butt. Oh, yeah. I thought we were trying to get a butt. I thought we were trying to get a butt.
Oh, we've seen some of the teams struggling with the ice a little early in this game. Kathy Gauthier?
Well, it is interesting. Last night I asked Randy Ferbey what he thought of the ice. He felt it curled almost too much. One of the things they've seen today is that the conditions have straightened out a bit. Not a surprise to Hans Wotrick, the ice maker. Interesting for Hans is he said Kevin Martin practices lining up rocks, throwing lots of hits, and so he feels that sometimes he's at a disadvantage when he has to play a finesse shot, as he did last end, the tap up. He just hasn't had a chance to see the path. Mark Dacey getting caught quite a few times already on the ice conditions being a little bit straighter.
And raises a point of what you should do, Linda, Ray, in terms of practice. We have seen teams ignore the takeout weight altogether and play nothing but draws, because the thought being that when it comes to an up shot, you should be able to make that the concentration should be on come arounds and shot shots.
On the field, yeah. Well, we've pretty well established before you get to this level, you can hit the broom. That's for sure, Beck. That's what you're trying to say. I haven't seen it. It is a little straighter than it was yesterday, for sure. But, and I don't know about you, but it hasn't. I mean, I expected it to be, as Hans I'm sure did too, for it to straighten up a little bit. But it's kind of different. It's a little bit early running straight, and when it starts to close, it just goes sideways. And any flat handle is moving, almost in right angles. And by that, I mean any handle without a lot of rotation.
What kind of stuff? Pump it out.
I talked to Russ Howard yesterday, and he was saying, Ray, a few years back, 1.5 rotations was sufficient, but that is not even the factor on ice surfaces like this any longer. He says you really have to, and you hate doing that because you really have to, put it on with a pronounced motion, and sometimes that can cause you to miss the broom. So but it doesn't. It's a little bit different today. It's interesting. Why they would try to test us so early in this event, I don't know. After a year off.
But really, Vic, when it comes down to it, if you needed to practice something, this is probably the toughest shot. This hack weight, it's in between for curl, and finding the place is hard when you're putting down the broom.
He's sweeping you guys.
Kevin Martin has last rock. This is a nervous situation for David Nettowin and Randy Ferbey right now because there are 3 yellows in the rings and only 1 red, and the angle on the 1 red is not bad.
Well, you touched on the sweeping, or they touched on the sweeping. Is the brushing then in those sort of half shots, Linda, more important?
It's huge, Vic. And Ray mentioned, too, if you get on it early, you're going to really impact on the stone. So the brushers have to be really communicating well with the house.
Line. Room. Line's good. Line. Line's good. Room. Room. Lots of room.
6.
Oh.
Is he going yet?
No.
It just took a little longer to make his move. It finally did. But boy, they waited a long time for that. You can see how straight it ran down, and then all of a sudden, try and listen to what they have to say about it.
Not sure about the ice. Like that. Doesn't know where to ice it.
We're having trouble with this ice man.
Two-way. Sure.
We talk about all the little things that make a difference in the game, and reading the ice is going to be very key. I talked about it earlier, adapting to conditions. Kevin Martin is one of the best. So is Randy Ferbey, of course, but Kevin throws a ton of stones. He works on a lot of different kinds of ice. He has a little bit of an advantage over some players in this field because of it.
Don Walchuk.
No! No!
Wayne. Yep. Hard. No, it really went. Hard, hard, hard.
Boy, it jumped. They waited and waited and waited.
Just to extend on that, Linda, one evening after, I forget which bar it was, I guess it was a year or so ago, and sitting around talking to David Nettowin, and he was saying to me that he doesn't think there's anyone in curling that throws more rocks than he does, and I was really surprised that he thought that. He said, I know Kevin throws a lot of stones. He said, but I throw every day, and there's no one I don't think he throws more than I do. And that was after half a glass of red wine, so.
And he probably just threw the red stones. Well, you know, maybe too simple, but the good players, those who are accomplished, throw every day. That's their office. They'll go to their office after their office or whatever they do professionally, but you have to throw. No question.
Hard.
You know, there are very few days a golfer doesn't go to the range or go in the trap, or the baseball player doesn't go into the batting cage. And if it's raining, you go inside to hit. You don't want to lose that feel.
What a great roll that was, Linda. And once again, it is. You could heard Randy say to David, I'm just having a little trouble with this ice. Because they have to wait so long on those.
Still got to do setup. Give him a draw around.
Well, he'll have something no matter what. Absolutely. Have that big run back.
Kevin was just a little bit off the run back last end. He has another opportunity in a similar spot, almost straight back.
Straight run back.
Yep, yep. Whoa.
Center the stone and fire it. Whoa.
And he'll leave Ferbey line 2. 2 without the hammer here in the 4th.
Downtown, it just didn't curl at all. And they don't very often with that kind of weight.
That's a huge mistake. We don't often see from Kevin being that much off. We don't know if it was the action of the rock or a little bit of the hand.
Well, he's killing that one if he does.
Okay. Well, okay, guard then.
Well, a 4 or 5.
Okay.
They were
Three's
checking
okay,
to see
right?
if the double was there.
3's okay, 3, 4.
It can be in, like it's...
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying for line, right? The line's first.
All right, they're talking about the 3-4, Linda. That's their zone play, of course, as we've become familiar with.
If you leave this one a little too long, it does give a chance to come around it and make a tap.
Yeah. I think that's close. Or is that too much?
The ice getting into the head of Martin a little bit.
Well, it's both of you heard Randy confused a little bit too. There, look at them talking about the ice here. But that's one of the wonderful things about this game of curling, I think, Linda. I mean, yes, some days you struggle with it in your head, and some days you can't figure it out. But that's part of this fantastic game.
And don't forget, it's not just the ice, it's the stones and the deliveries, the way they release the stone, that all impact on the outcome.
Final stone for David Nedoin.
Real bad.
Throwing the fourth stone.
Fight, Dave.
We're biting. Whoa, it's going.
Kevin Martin with the hammer.
Whoa. Ah, boy.
Kevin looking at the possibility of maybe getting all three, but you can see him looking at the angles.
He's also looking at the way to most effectively get into the forefoot and not give up a big end. Make sure you don't give him more than one if you can't score.
How do I get in? You can see that Kevin
Can't make that.
No. Kevin was looking at hitting this there on
Get off the ass end.
Coming off this way.
What do you think? Double? Nose hit double there.
Yeah. Worried about the spot is all. There.
Take middle of the rock and fire it.
That'd probably be the easiest double. That one, even if I hit it right, it might jam on that 8.
Make a double and give up a single. I think that's what they decided, to run this one back and make the double.
Like this?
Right on the nose.
This is a big hesitation, though, and the reason is it's not that hard a double. It's almost just a nose hit. It's the spot on the ice. Very similar to the one he just threw.
He'll be throwing his intern right down
just
here.
Easy to pick the back one.
No, it's tough.
10th end of your planet.
For sure, 10th end. It's not too bad.
What are they lines? 2? 2. Okay.
Yeah.
For Kevin to stand there that long, you can tell he hasn't locked in the decision, and
Intern draw tap's too risky, eh?
Oh, yeah.
that's the hard part about throwing last. You have to really be ready to make it and feel good about the ice.
Still talked about trying to get that one off the 4-foot tee line. Final stone on its way. Kevin Martin here in the fourth. Rycroft, Bartlett backing off, run it back, and they'll jam it. Stuffed it, and it's a steal of 2 for Ferbey here in the fourth. Let's meet these two teams throwing lead stones for Ferbey. Marcel Rock. Don Bartlett does that for Kevin Martin. The seconds, Scott Pfeiffer and Carter Rycroft. Ferbey throws the third stones along with Don Walchuk, and throwing fourth stones for the Ferbey team, David Nedoin. And Kevin Martin is the skip from the Saville Sports Center. Both these teams from Edmonton.
So we're really going to do this? Stop for coffee, only Tim Hortons. All the way to BC.
Only Tim's?
All the way east. Nobody's done this before.
Towels is changing its name to Sponge Towels. Why would they do that? Sponge Towels. That's a good idea.
Scott Towels is changing its name to Sponge Towels, now with powerful little sponge pockets.
Winning's about dedication. It's about a commitment to excellence. It's about passion, and if you don't really care, you just don't win.
Mondetta is a worldwide leader in apparel innovation. Like Canadians in curling, Mondetta understands its game. Canada's top curlers are making Mondetta their gear of choice.
At True Value, we encourage kids to throw rocks at houses, and we even like to give them a little help. We're proud to be the official hardware supplier to curling's Season of Champions. Just like we're proud of our Master Mechanic tools, all hand tools have a lifetime guarantee on workmanship and material. Master Mechanic, your purchase of a lifetime. True Value, around the corner from your house.
Winter doesn't have to be all hard work. Come to Sport Shack for great Columbia gear. No matter how you spend your winter, we've got you covered. Sport Shack, the power of sport.
You won't miss a thing, of course, as we continue with our updates. Jay Peachy, Pat Ryan, as they play in the fourth. All Ryan so far leading 3-0. Now watch this. The lights coming on as if it were a hog line violation. So there's obviously something wrong with that stone. Peachy with his final rock. Looking to get his first point of the game, makes the hit. And he'll score his single. And they'll check the number 8 stone. 3-1 Ryan. Our first look at John Morris out of Calgary against Jeff Stoughton from the Charleswood in Winnipeg. 4-0 Morris leading, scored 2 in the second, stole 2 more in the third. Stoughton, of course, former Canadian world champion, as he goes against the former world junior champion in John Morris. And moves it far enough. He does. Stoughton gets his first. He's on the board. 4-1 Morris with the hammer in the fifth. The Metro Centre, home of the Halifax Mooseheads of the Quebec Junior Hockey League. They're on the road for 6 games because of the trials here at the Metro Centre. Stops in places like Charlottetown, St. John, New Brunswick, St. John's, Newfoundland, where they are this weekend. As we go to the fifth, 3-2. Ferbey leading, Martin playing the Yellowstones with the hammer.
Well, in 2 ends, Kevin Martin has really struggled with the ice. He's missed a raise, 2 runbacks, and a double takeout, all in a similar kind of place. And you can tell he's just not sure about either where to put the broom, or maybe, you heard David Netherwin actually say maybe sliding a little tight and putting the rock back, which also impacts on the curls. So just a real struggle the last 2 ends for Kevin Martin.
Yeah.
That was different.
Oh, Randy was right all the way.
But one of the funny things about any sport, but the game of curling too, Vick's momentum, and you could feel it going with Kevin Martin. You could see it was Randy Ferbey scratching his head a little bit about the ice. And what a complete feeling now that it's gone the other way with Ferbey holding the momentum.
Absolutely. Early it was the Ferbey team that had the questions. I wonder if, in fact, now we might see the game simplify a little bit.
I think you will right now for sure. You'll have Randy Ferbey saying, okay, you're going to have to do it yourself, Kevin. You're going to have to put up the rocks and make the come-arounds. I'm not going to give you much.
Real hard, guys. Hard, 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 hard. Hard, 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 hard. Go, 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 hard.
Good shot.
Playing the double.
Carter Rycroft.
Whoa. What a nice young guy Carter is. He's lots of fun.
Super.
Yeah, I really get a kick out of him. I get a kick out of him. One of those kind of guys, you know, that when, no matter when you see him, you kind of smile. You always have a little smile on your face because he kind of makes you.
He's a great addition to the team, really brings a lot of things to that second position, including the big hit game.
He's terrific, terrific person, I think. He did get a kick out of him.
Close. Whoa.
Bump her down.
Bump her down. Oh, right off.
Clean, clean.
No.
Whoa.
No, 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 no. All right.
Currently ranked number 3 on the World Curling Tour. You can see he's struggling right now at 61%. The ice has gotten into his head.
Oh, I let go. I said, well,
And it's interesting, Vic, because that is really the key. When you're throwing last, you have to be confident about what you're doing out there. And both David and Kevin, throwing last for their respective teams, are the ones that really aren't feeling when they step in the hack that they know exactly what that stone's going to do.
Well.
It's kind of interesting because you can compare the fact that in Randy's case, you know, he's calling the game and throwing the third stone. It's kind of like the quarterback who doesn't call his own plays, Vic. You know, Cavilla doesn't. He calls his own plays, but Ricky Ray doesn't call his plays. That kind of thing. You know,
It's either that or guard.
it's kind of a.
Are you thinking guard too?
Well, they say, I mean, Calvillo in Montreal thinks there's the suggestion that you have a better feel for the game instead of the coming in from the sideline. But I mean, who won the Grey Cup, right?
Well, it wasn't close at all, was it? No. It was like a rout by Montreal, by Edmonton. No. And that's the same argument for those skips that call the game and throw last. The same. That's their. They say I don't feel the same if I'm not calling it and then throwing it last. But it certainly works for Randy and David, and it would be interesting to see if it works for Brad Gushue.
Yes, exactly. I was going to go that way.
Oh,
too.
you knew I was going there?
Yeah. Just expected you to take the freeway, not the cross country. As we check in the game between Dacey and Adams.
Whoa.
And it is Sean Adams. As we mentioned, these two teams are out of the same club right here in Halifax. The Mayflower.
Might roll out.
And Adams appears to be lying one, maybe two. Final stone
On its own for a set.
for Mark Dacey.
Room? Yeah, it's got room. Let it curl, let it curl.
2004 Brier champion.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, let it bend, let it bend.
What?
Even hard, hard, no roll.
Oh, nice shot.
Holy
Actually
shit. Too much roll.
Comes out the other side and maybe a little deep too. Can he come down
Even
and
Ian's
tap
okay
that
on this,
back
eh?
for two possibly?
Because if we're too short, he's just coming around and freezing for us. Back four, eh?
I think so, Vic, but that's another indication of just how tough it is on the brushers who want to be brushing it a little bit, and they're getting called off, and then suddenly the rocks are taking off.
Now, Ray, as we're watching that game, let's remember that's sheet E. That's one of the outside sheets closest to the stands.
Yours got by by a lot. Got by a lot.
Many years that, in fact, that sheet can be effective.
Was there too many years in that sentence?
Yeah, sometimes the warm air coming down will certainly affect the outside sheets more so.
Just the three.
Got curl.
Go then. Gotta go.
Go, 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 go.
Gotta go.
Hard, right up.
Hard.
Hard.
Just cross center. Easy, easy,
David
easy.
Netherwin throwing his
easy.
first.
They wanted this one in a little tighter, I think. They wanted it tight because they didn't want Kevin to go around and freeze to it, but it's curled a little too much, and it's a little long, and you can see what Kevin Martin is about to do now. He's going to angle freeze on the face of it. They wanted to be right into the top 12 foot.
Meanwhile, Sean Adams in his final stone. Little quiet tap may give him 2 here. Burgess.
Oh, you know what? If you want to
middle stat, the front end. Fleming out as well. Tap it back for 2. Great shot, Sean Adams.
Sean Adams is a great shot maker. He has a very interesting release because he kind of uses the ends of his fingers, but he has a very soft touch, which we just saw. That's what took him to the Brier final last year.
Hard. Come on, guys. Hard.
That just dug in on him. He had great line, Lou.
He could have even afforded to tap that a little bit. Yeah. He just could not afford to come up short.
How will he do it? That run's not there. I mean, it is, but it'd be tough. But I mean, you got to leave him that. Wait, the draw?
Well, he's got a draw for 1 right now.
Well, yeah. Okay, you know what?
So
we have to go up here.
Yeah.
If he makes a shot for 2.
I don't know that he can come up the side.
That is an amazing respect, though, for Kevin Martin. Looking at the yellow guard way out in front that could be run in. A very difficult shot where the yellow just off the boards that maybe you could come off of to get at that shot, Rob.
If he does risk running that in.
He might run it in also, but you're right. Because if he runs that in, he's got a chance.
Well, then he's got a chance to give us 2 more. What are you trying to do? Are you trying to get like... Well, what about just... Center? I'm just wondering.
Well, we're going to leave him something. I know.
You might give him that double.
Or onto his own also with hack weight or something.
That's a tough run now. Even if you're a little short, it's not good.
Yeah. So I'll open it up, but don't get too cute with it now.
Just. No, I know. Even if we're short, it's okay.
Take the draw away.
So what they're trying to do, first of all, is take away the draw for Kevin Martin. But the second thing is, if they can get a little biter, it makes it riskier for Kevin to try one of those kinds of run backs in case he picked out his own and gave up a deuce.
Not a bunch more.
Oh, I don't think it's more.
Line. 3. Line's fine. 3.
How's line?
No line. 4. Ooh, by itself. That's good. I don't mind that guard. Almost good.
Not too bad.
It's like boards. We've got double.
It's not going to stick around.
With boards it would. Maybe not. Something like that with boards makes sense.
The double he's talking about is this.
Even if
one
we
here.
nut it, if we get 1, go across it, get 2.
Can you hold the shooter over here to score 2? That's what he first talked about.
Pretty much right down the handle, eh?
You heard Linda say that the important part of this being in the rings is that if they try this shot, which it looks like they're going to, you don't want to give up a deuce.
Quick peek, Howard Gushu of 3-3 tie. Brad Gushu got 1. And that's his double for the single. And a 4-3 lead, Gushu, with Russ Howard holding the broom and calling the game.
I got it. Mine ran 2 straight. What the hell is it?
Boards.
Whoa.
Boards.
Whoa.
Close.
No.
Yep. Oh. Oh. Hard. 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 Hard.
Angle it in.
Hard. Go, 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 go.
What a shot. Look at it go. Look at it go. Oh, just not quite enough. And it'll get the single as the ice is tightened up back of the four. We're all tied 3-3 through 5.
The 2005 Tim Hortons Canadian Curling Trials on TSN are brought to you by Tim Hortons Limited Canister and Mug.
They're here.
Let's give Tyler's mom her gift.
I can do it.
Come on, buddy, let's go.
My mom says I say thanks.
For those who are always there for you, why not give a Tim Hortons canister, including 5 packets of their favorite coffee for only $10.49 plus tax. Or the mug, only $6.95 plus tax with 1 packet.
At True Value, we encourage kids to throw rocks at houses, and we even like to give them a little help. We're proud to be the official hardware supplier to Curling's Season of Champions. Just like we're proud of our True Value paint, we test and retest right at our own factory. We guarantee every can at every store. True Value, around the corner from your house.
New smoothies from McCain. Ready just in time. New smoothies from McCain. Ready just in time.
This life doesn't get much better. Looking back on all the times together, can I see you tonight? Memories are so strong. Please don't wait too long. See you tonight. Hey, I see you tonight. Yeah.
Who'll get the coolest gifts this holiday? We think they'll be pretty easy to spot. They're the ones who got a gift from the source by Circuit City. Right now, get this fully featured Acer wireless notebook for only $7.99 and get a Canon photo printer, Nextech webcam, and cool software as a bonus. For the gifts people really want, get it right from the source or right from thesource.ca.
The Strauss Herb Company has sold over 1 million bottles of the original Strauss Heart Drops. And take it from me, Randy Ferbey, it's not because Heart Drops taste great. Take the taste test yourself. Strauss Heart Drops, available at your local health food retailer.
They say power is the ultimate aphrodisiac. We couldn't agree more. Get Quattro Power. Turn on the power of 4.
Show me the money. 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 You can do it, man. Show me the money. Show me the money. Show me that money. It's not about the money.
No, it certainly isn't about the money. It is Special Olympics Day here on TSN. For more information, www.specialolympics.ca. There's a number to call to make a contribution. There are some 30,000 Special Olympians in our country, in all 10 provinces and 3 territories. And of course, next summer, the Canada Special Olympics Summer Games will be held in Brandon, Manitoba, as the teams meet here, tied 3-3 through 5. The ice has been difficult. Maybe the psychologist will have something to say before it's all done. Ken Bagwell is the psychologist for Colleen Jones, and he's with Kathy.
Ken, we can just feel the pressure out here. Obviously, you know more about that as a sports psychologist. What does your mental training really do right about now?
Well, I think it's sum of a lot of practice, both on the mental skills side and physical skills side, that we do throughout the course of a year, or in our case, over the last 4 years, that prepares us for this particular situation. We want to be in this type of pressure setting. It's what we train for, and we're prepared to play our best at that time. So that's what we're practicing for all the year prior to this event.
We look forward to talking to you later this week with Colleen's team.
Yes, very much so. Thank you.
He may have already talked to them. They lost their first game today. We'll see the ladies tonight when we come back.
The 2005 Tim Hortons Canadian Curling Trials on TSN are brought to you in part by Scott Paper Limited, proud sponsor of curling for 25 years. By Ford, built for life in Canada. And by Strauss Herb Company, makers of the original Strauss Heart Drops, when only the best will do.
So are we really going to do this? Stop for coffee, only Tim Hortons?
All the way to BC.
Only Tim's?
All the way east. Nobody's done this before.
Take on winter with Stanfield's Polar Therm, the ultimate winter underwear. Enter Stanfield's Beat the Freeze contest, brought to you by OLN and TSN. You could win a trip to Sun Peaks Resort in British Columbia, courtesy of CAA Travel, or a Stanfield prize pack. Hit tsn.ca/OLN to enter. Then test your skills for bonus entries. For every pair of Polar Therm underwear sold November 14th to December 11th, a donation will be made to Raising the Roof, a charity dedicated to long-term solutions to homelessness.
TSN HD, redefining the image of sport. TSN HD is proudly presented by JVC. JVC, the HD technology leader.
We've changed Cottonelle over the years. Now we're giving it a softer name. Cottonelle is changing its name to Cashmere.
Never stop enjoying life. Strauss Herb Company products, available at health product retailers across Canada.
The 2006 Tim Hortons Briar is now available in all shapes and sizes. Our all-new mini packs give you the option of getting into the party gras spirit whenever your schedule allows.
Tim Hortons Briar, Regina Party Briar.
So, when do you want to get briared?
The first ever Briar, where you wanna wear a mask. Hurry, hurry!
Get your tickets now!
Time now to check the numbers after 5, brought to you by Tim Hortons and the limited mug and canister.
You know, what jumps off the page here is the steals in this tie game, because it has been an uncertain start for both of these top teams. The biggest thing in the first 5, in my opinion, is Martin's last shot in the last end, because he was really struggling. His stats so far, believe it or not, his hits are 56%. That's not Kevin Martin-like. But if you talk about momentum all going Ferbey's way, this is a must-make. An angle, long, raise, a chance for a deuce, but he has to play it a little quietly. Lower risk that way, but makes it for the single, and that's a huge turnaround going into the next 5.
Martin and Ferbey is the feature on this first men's draw. As we begin play in the 6th, and Randy Ferbey playing the Redstones will have the hammer. But you do agree, you think that the ice in the house flattened out a little bit?
Yeah, it's not as lively as it was early, for sure. It's and Lyndon makes just an absolutely great point. That was a must shot. It was a great shot by Kevin. And the thing, because of that second Redstone in the rings, then he couldn't play it with any kind of weight. He had to play it quietly.
Line's pretty good.
He certainly called the right ice, and it was a great shot. And it's obviously a 3-3 game now, and that is a big, big point that goes against you. Also, on this kind of ice, I think sometimes it's easier to. It's I've seen it so many times where you get behind 2 or 3 points and excuse me, and you are struggling a little bit with the calling of the ice. It's tougher for the team that's behind because they're playing all those soft shots, Lou, and the team that's up is playing with pretty solid weight, running things off, etc., etc. So sometimes it's hard to come back when the ice is really tricky, a little trickier.
And of course, we talk a lot about ice and stones. We're not saying that the ice isn't good. It's just the first day, and they're having to learn, and it's showing up on a few of the big shots. The run backs, for example, for Kevin Martin. He just hasn't quite figured it out. It's pretty warm outside, Vic, and we've got some people
Can't really
in the
do anything with
stands.
this.
So it's a little tricky.
And it's supposed to stay warm. We know that some parts of the country are in the deep freeze. There's lots of snow in the southern Ontario area. But here in the Maritimes, it's going to stay above freezing, they say, until probably Thursday, when we're supposed to dip below freezing for the very first time.
Heavy hack! Heavy hack!
Whoa. And you'll do the rest of the country later on?
Yeah, eventually get to. No, it's been very cold in
Borrow
Alberta.
the telestrator and show us the jet stream. That's amazing here. Beautiful sunny start to the day. And very warm outside.
Down 11 up. Center line off there, dude.
Scott Pfeiffer.
11 down. Yep. Go.
Now you heard Randy call down 11 up, so
off, right off. 11.
Back through the house. Now the first indication was out of the hands. 11 down. I mean, what would the difference be?
Not a lot, Vic, but when you're scrapping for those millimeters that Ray talked about, it's going to make a difference.
Vic, 11 up would be a little bit more than 11 down. And that is not that difficult to understand.
Not bad. Cop 8. Weight's all there. Okay. Cop 8.
Whoa.
No, we're more than that. We're T plus. Okay. Yep. Back 8. Okay, back 4. Off. Off. Back 4. Off.
Ooh.
Sit down.
Ooh.
Good shot. It went sideways, though, didn't it?
And just hangs on to the back of the 4.
Not bad.
Ferbey continues to lie 1 with the hammer here in the 6th.
Randy's in a position here to pick up his deuce.
Randy?
The area they're playing in is pretty small, pretty tight.
Okay. Same weight as 2 ends ago.
This is an example of how experienced Randy Ferbey is. He could play the other turn and follow that path, but you end up with a lot of come-arounds just following one another. He's playing the tougher turn, but harder for your opponent to follow.
Hard! Hard, go, hard. Uh-oh. I don't like that.
All the games now are past the midway point. This is the opening draw of men's play, and Pat Ryan is in control against Jay Peachy up 5-1 as they play the 6th. Brad Gushu has taken the lead against Glenn Howard. That's our featured game, of course. John Morris, 6-1, he leads Jeff Stoughton. Morris out of Calgary. And Adams by 1 over Dacey.
Well, that rock ended up in absolutely the worst possible spot it could be, because a nose hit with some weight here will get rid of those two red rocks, Linda. The one you're hitting and the one that's in the forefoot.
Hard. Right up, right up, right up.
He curled too much. It kind of got it going, I guess, or wait for their comment. But if he'd hit that just a little more on the nose, that red rock would have gone right out of the rings.
Never be coming off this.
Oh, you still got to run that.
You can see they're brushing to try and hold the line, but it curls.
I mean, this would be ideal, eh?
A little too much. Did it rub that top one, Vic?
Right on you.
Did it?
Come on,
were you
here,
paying attention? I don't think you were paying attention there.
Yeah,
Because
the problem
usually,
is now
did you think it did, Linda?
I don't think it did. I think
Okay,
they
all right.
just got it by.
We're just hitting and rolling off, right?
I was busy eating something. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Out turn. What's that? Yeah, out
I
turn.
have to tell you,
Trying to
that
just
lovely
come
lady
off
that
this,
brought
yeah.
me some fudge that I've just spent 4.5, 5 months trying to lose 22 pounds, and I don't need to eat any more fudge.
That's nice, though.
It's
People
very
been very
nice of her.
kind.
Lovely, lovely, lovely.
So pass it down.
No. That was a chance for Kevin to get out of this situation.
Yep.
But
Hard. Go, 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 hard. Yep. Hard.
Picked up right away.
Hard. Hard.
Brock and Pfeiffer run it back.
All right.
Curious how the stone actually jumps on them, even with that kind of weight. You don't expect it to move that much, did they?
it's all very late. I mean, they hold pretty well down the sheet until they get to that, across that hog line, and they will move.
Quiet. Quiet, Hap. Clean. Yep. Nothing to speak here, remember? Hard. Okay. Whoa. Whoa.
Don Bartlett reminding
Whoa.
Carter Rycroft
Whoa.
is going to have the movement late. And look at that, how this is turned around here with Martin lying 3, Ferbey with the hammer here in 6.
It's 2/3 of the famous
Well, you'll be able to get
Ryan
just the
Express
inside.
out there with Don Walchuk and Randy Ferbey.
He threw
And,
hack, cleared the guard by that.
I guess you could substitute Kevin McKenzie
Well,
for
we
Don
run ours in.
McKenzie, and you'd have the Ryan
I like
Express
that.
of 88 and 89. Remember that, Vic?
Absolutely.
Pat Ryan, of course.
I can make a
Still on the ice now, of course, and he's leading Jay Peachy. That's over on sheet A.
Well, it's pretty heavy.
Back-to-back Canadian championships in 88 and 89, losing the Worlds and then winning the World Championship in 89 in Milwaukee.
I can make yeah. I know, that's what I'm...
What are you thinking here?
I don't know.
Try to roll both in? Is that what you're thinking, or what?
No, I'm thinking of running our guard back.
What do you like?
Well, this shot's here.
If you want to run that, you can. It's up to you.
What if we hit the top red one?
Well, that's what I'm not a real big fan of that. I mean, you roll here, he just doubles them out. Then we come around and freeze. Scott, if you roll anywhere, he's just doubling them. Come here and have a look if you want.
Well, hit it nose then. There's no double. Not really.
Talking about hitting
Well,
their
what do we
own.
use there? How many times we got?
Timeout.
One of 2
That's the
available
last shot I
to each
like
team.
off front. That's the last shot I like. It's in that one. Right now he's got nothing. You hit that, he doubles it. Now they're sitting 3. There, I don't see any point in that one.
Which one?
Hitting the front, I don't see any.
Oh, but can't you roll one behind?
So what? You just stick there and he makes a double.
Well, the thing is,
Well, then we can come around and
okay,
at
hold
least
it.
then the forefoot's open.
The thing is, you could line it up where it's jamming on one of them too. It's not guaranteed that the double's going to be split off. You know what I mean? It might line up pretty good too.
It's pretty hard.
The thing is, they're going to be sitting too though after that too.
Yeah.
What if we run this guard right back?
Well,
and onto the yellow one.
Onto the yellow.
Make the double.
I mean, that's there. I either like that or I like coming around with just an 11 and flopping. You don't like that?
I can see this much air.
Yeah, I couldn't see any air on the one I threw. You hit the rope in the center, block that off. He drops the button and he what? What? I'm just...
If I do what?
You run this guard and roll over, and he comes around.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I know. What we're talking about is if we miss a shot instead of making a shot.
I'm just saying, even if we make that one in the 8-foot, he's still going to have a double. But if you make one of these other two, we're looking good.
Well, we just throw a draw there.
They're talking about the long red one, the long red shot.
What about just playing that 10 on this?
Well, I know. The thing is, they're back 8 foot. You got to score here, right? You can't get a roll in.
Then you got a big roll.
They'll freeze.
The stone at the top of the Tim Hortons is the rock they're
And if
talking
it's heavy,
about.
you come off it and roll in. Because, I mean, we can't cut too much, right?
Or hitting the
yeah,
back
you
one.
can cut too much on this. You just tap on this one back and leave the angle and then... I don't know where you want the rocks to stop on this spot where it's going to be any good. I don't know where you're saying for the rocks to stop to be any good. You throw it show me where they're going to stop, because I don't see anywhere they're not going to have a double.
Time is back in after the 1 minute timeout for Randy Ferbey.
Well,
so you're trying not to roll them. And they're still sitting 2 or 3.
All right, go to your shot, Dave. Dave.
So they decide to go after the Yellowstone at about 3 o'clock, edge of the 4-foot.
Your first reaction was to run?
What?
The first instinct?
I'm not sure if they're playing the run back or the come around, Vic.
No, that was your first.
Looks like they're playing the tap.
Love it.
With these shots, you have to remember the ability of these teams. This is still really a setup shot. It didn't have to be in scoring position yet.
11.
Whoa.
One little roll.
Yeah, it didn't come enough, did it?
Randy looked like he threw it good.
Well, just a reminder to join Gord Miller and Pierre Maguire for the 2006 IIHF World Junior Hockey Championship from British Columbia. That's beautiful BC, of course. The Holiday Classic begins Boxing Day on TSN, and all the games available in TSN, as Pierre would say, monster high definition.
No, it's not.
Heavy hack. Same
Whoa.
starter.
Whoa, whoa.
Heavy hack.
Whoa.
Stay close. Stay close.
Never.
Close.
Now.
Whoa.
Now.
Gee. Tough to get the inside of that thing, eh? It's hard to get the inside of that rock. Yeah. A little quieter, I guess, eh? I guess. That was just hack. Well, a little bit more than hack.
Oh,
What's that?
How much can you see?
Not quite all.
I'd have to throw like a 10, Randy.
But Martin got by quite a bit.
I don't know if it's there now.
Kevin got by quite a bit, though.
You have to remember it's moved 2 stones up in the house, so the little inside flip is now much tougher.
I think it is an 11.
You think it is?
Yeah. This is close.
Okay, we'll try it. What's that? Oh, let's go have a look. Yeah, let's have a quick look.
Live look at Jay Peachy against Pat Ryan as they play in the 6th. 5-1 Ryan leading. Final stone for Peachy out of the Golden Ears Winter Club in Maple Ridge, BC.
Hard! Really hard!
Chance for a pair here. Got to get by the long guard first, though. Instead, it's a steal of 1. Chance was there to just tap that stone off the button, sit there, and then bring your other stone back of the 4-foot into play. It's 6-1 now, Ryan.
Well, it was about right, eh? As long as you tuck a hair more than what's tucked right now, he's got to be careful.
Just to go further on that shot of Peachy's, Linda mentioned in her opening comments when she did the Western teams that the lack of maybe experience, not so much in playing the game, but in conditions, ice conditions, which are a little different today than we see even in other arenas, maybe making the difference there, because Jay looked like he did not have the right weight for that shot at all, Linda.
And that seemed to really do something different than he expected, and that's what we found in this spot is they're trying to get this roll. It's just a little tricky with those tap backs.
They lost it.
Same thing.
He had great line. They just, you know, it's so easy to sit up here and say this. Obviously, they just swept it earlier, but they hadn't been breaking, so they didn't think it would until it got closer to the rings. But that one broke early.
And look where the stones have ended up. The rubbed stone, now an extra center line guard.
I talked about momentum, Vic, and boy, do you feel it now with those 3 yellows ringing the 4-foot and a chance to put a guard up again.
Enough
Kevin
ice.
making that big shot in 5. Now the pressure's all squarely on David Netawin.
Top 8, top 12.
Go right back to, as you mentioned, his Kevin's last shot in 5.
I can be,
boy.
you know, I can be halfway for you. Out-turn too, right? If you don't want. Don't know this in-turn draw.
Taking a look live at the game between
It's not easy to go wide enough for that out-turn.
Glenn Howard
Okay, let's make this.
and Brad Gushu. And you see Howard lying 1, it would appear, at around 3 o'clock, just edge of the butt. You can't see exactly. They may be able to play a little tap on a yellow stone at around 7 o'clock. Might bring in to play another
Pretty good, pretty good.
for a possible 3.
Wait's
We'll
good.
have to wait here. This is really put it right in the mitt and see what happens. Brent Lang, Craig Saville, the front end. Here they go. Rattle them around. Is it for 3? Looks like it is. Very nice.
I think so. You don't want to make it so. Goes another 3 inches. He's got the quad for 3. Oh yeah. That one's tough. Got to spin off the top. T-line. But it could.
Now this is a draw to the 4-foot that is absolutely very, very difficult. This is a tough draw in this situation. As you mentioned, the momentum has changed a bit. David can maybe swing it back his way with a great shot here, but boy, this is a tough shot. Randy's has to go out almost to the edge of the 12-foot. This shot has to be judged absolutely perfect. No 2 better guys in the world to do it than these 2. But
Well, a piece of the 4, a good chunk of the 4 would give them shot stone, surrounded by yellow. And here they go. Line's good, says Ferbey. Puffin backing off now.
Easy.
Need the 4 and a good piece of it.
Hi, boy, Dave.
what a great
And
shot.
they'll get a T-line there for shot stone.
This Sports Center update is brought to you by Sylvania.it. Where do you need light?
Hey everybody, Corey Warren back here inside the Sports Center newsroom. The early edition of the show coming up at 6 o'clock Eastern time. Is a very busy Saturday. Here's a peek at the stories that we're following for you today. A little early NHL action. Wild and Devils first period. New Jersey on the forecheck. Brian Giunta centers to Scott Gomez, but Manny Fernandez there to make the stop and keeps it scoreless after one. 9 more games on the NHL schedule tonight. Joe Thornton will look to continue his fine start with the San Jose Sharks when they face off against the Maple Leafs tonight in Toronto. Sherry Ford will have a full preview of that game. And the Saskatchewan Huskies and Laurier Golden Hawks will meet today at Ivor Stadium in Hamilton as they battle for the Desjardins Vanier Cup. You can watch the game live on TSN 3 Eastern, noon Pacific time. All this and a whole lot more coming up on the early edition of Sports Center. We're on at 6 Eastern, 3 o'clock Pacific time. All the day's news, all the day's highlights. We'll get you back to more curling after this.
This is the famous Budweiser beer. We know of no brand produced by any other brewer which costs so much to brew and age. Our exclusive Beechwood aging produces the taste, the smoothness, and the drinkability you'll find in no other beer at any price. Bright, crisp, clean. This is Budweiser. This is beer.
Please join me at the 2006 Men's World Curling Championship at the Songus Arena in beautiful Lowell, Massachusetts, April 1st through 9th. Besides watching the best curler in the world compete, there's a lot to do in Lowell. And Boston is only 30 minutes away. Tickets and hotel packages are available now. Call 888-WCC-2006 or visit us online. The 2006 World Men's Curling Championship, sweeping the world while brushing with history.
Scott Towels is changing its name to Sponge Towels. Why would they do that? Sponge Towels. That's a good idea.
Scott Towels is changing its name to Sponge Towels, now with powerful little sponge pockets.
Strauss Herb Company, sponsor of the Strauss Canada Cup of Curling, is a family business with a full line of traditional natural products. Take it from me, Randy Ferbey, these products rock. They're available at health food stores near you.
When I have a cold sore, I feel like that's all people are looking at.
Abbreviate your cold sore with Abreva. New Abreva is the only treatment that helps prevent the cold sore virus from entering surrounding cells.
Help kiss your cold sore goodbye.
New Abreva, clinically proven to speed healing.
Don't miss a new episode of The Amazing Race, the Family Edition, Tuesday at 9, 8 Central on CTV. I can imagine you and the boys and Jane being in that race as a family edition.
Yeah, we'd be in that race all right.
4 would start, and how many would finish?
No, there'd be no finishers.
4-3, wonderful draw. David Nedouin gives Ferbey the lead. Kevin Martin, playing the Yellowstones, has the hammer.
That was a spectacular shot by Nedouin. Not only are we talking about momentum, but he was facing 4. It was almost game if he didn't make it. Just perfectly brushed, well thrown.
Just an unbelievable shot. It really was. I mean, sure, you only had to get a piece of the 4-foot, as Dick casually said, but you know, it was just, he had to go way out to the edge of the 12-foot. That was a great, great shot. We've seen both skips come up with big shots at the right time, and that's why they are the best 2 teams in the world.
And were they guessing at the ice a little bit?
No, I think they knew the ice
Yeah.
bit,
Wait if
but
you can,
as
Dave.
Ray said, the
3.
tricky part was it dives late, so they have
Line's
to make
not
sure
bad.
they
Line's
hold
okay.
it. That means the weight has to be perfect. Just a great combination of teamwork.
The brushers were so important to that shot. You know, if they get it on early, it doesn't make its move, and you can see that they, you know, great judgment. It's fun to be back, I can tell you, when you watch curling like this. Boy, oh boy.
Back here. It's in the house.
That was a mistake. That rock crept in, and that means that they can move it, try and rearrange the house a bit, set up something for later.
Where? How's the weight? Really hard, guys, really hard. Hard. Oh, yep, hard. Hard. Hard.
All right, guard. That one's not in, is it?
Nope.
Oh, you want to feel it? Go ahead.
Yeah, 2, 3. 3. Forward tight.
3.
Boy, oh boy. They're
Same
different.
kind of
ice. They're different.
I know, that's what I was saying with Marty.
Those are the 2. Bump freeze.
Yeah, quick look at the game between Adams, Dacey. Mentioned all Nova Scotia here. Adams, the runner-up in the Brier last year to Randy Ferbey. Dacey, the 04 Brier champion. 5-4 Adams leading, and this is his final stone. Tried to sneak it through for a possible 2, but got caught up on the last stone, top 8. So it's a 1 for Adams and a 6-4 lead.
Hard, guys, hard. Line's looking good.
Come on, come on.
Good shot, Carter. Oh, boy. Beauty.
That's what he asked for, a raise freeze. Good shot by Carter. You can see all the skips and thirds shaking their heads a little bit and being a little confused with so much late finish. Sean Adams got caught with his stone. You know, he looked like he had the right weight when he let it go, and then it just made that big move and went sideways on him.
Line only. Whoa. Yep. Hard. Real hard, guys.
Ooh,
A little rub there.
A little rub.
Jeez. Okay. Oops.
I mentioned earlier that the teams, Vic, talk about the break point where it starts to curl. I think they're just having trouble with figuring that out in this ice. They thought about the halfway point down the sheet is where it would break, so the brushers can hold it, but some of them seem to be going a little early.
Hard. Yep. Hard. Hard. Come on. Hard. Come on, Tom. We got it. Come on. Hard. That's good. Oh, boy. Good.
Carter Rycroft from Grand Prairie, Alberta, and that's where the Ford World Women's Championship will be next year, immediately following the Briar in Regina.
Bobby. Short's not bad.
We were in Briar. We were in Grand Prairie a number of years ago, were we not? For a skins game.
Yeah, we were. Is there really anywhere we haven't been, Dick, in this country over 19, 20 years?
Not very many.
We're very lucky. Great committees wherever we go, and terrific curling.
Five.
This is a tricky little port to come through. It looks pretty big, but because of the way the ice breaks,
Well,
you have to be on your toes.
And he's got to sneak it through, doesn't he? Here we go now. Fight for rock, drag it through, get it by. They do. Take it back a little further, a little bit more. Can you get it by one more? The little rub and roll. And it looks like it's got there just enough of the button for shot stone.
They didn't want to rub the red one. They wanted to just get by that. Such luck that it is shot rock. By the top one, and now it keeps coming across the ice. It just rubs the back one.
That's awful good. Feel the center guard's awful good too. Feel the red guard. Huh? Feel the red guard's not bad. What's he gonna do? Probably just replace it, I guess, or because we can't even run that back. So he just has to throw center guard anywhere. Oh, he's got to make it. If he doesn't make it, like I don't know. To me, you come right in here. Like we're looking awful good.
Yeah. Hey.
Like
I haven't thrown a draw all game.
14 and a bit. 14 and a half with sweeping. Crease to the face.
Although Don Welchuk says he really doesn't know the weight that well because he hasn't played a draw as yet. What they're trying to do on the Martin team is set it up. So put the rocks in a position where the Ferbey team will find it very tough to protect all the options.
And Kevin doesn't like the way the two rocks out in front on the center line are lined up because he can't run either one of them back.
Another overlap just
coming
a little
down.
bit.
Up.
Nothing yet from Rycroft, Bartlett.
Line only. Just over there.
Still on that guard. Got to make some movement now.
All there.
There it is.
All there. Oh, we can't.
Wanted to come right down to the face.
Takes away my shot. It's fine. Oop. Not bad. Randy tripped over it. No, I tripped over it.
Just curled a little too much.
He's got every angle. He's off this way, off this way.
You know, we're freezing our back.
Kevin, as he always does, was looking for that future angle.
Maybe if he hits this just right off there.
It might come off the other red one. That's what David's saying. The way that yellow is positioned next to a red and in front of a red, if you hit it on the right-hand side, you may get action.
Well, we're just going to help him, too. It's not in the pocket. It's not that he's going to play the same shot.
Here?
Well...
Talking about the possibility of being able to run that yellow one back.
That 7's okay for us.
I think just put one here myself.
He's running in.
They don't want to leave the long yellow run back for Kevin. You can see how they're sitting up. He runs it back onto his zone.
Now he can't run it because it comes onto here. He's just going straight back onto there.
He's got this one all day. He's got this one.
But you come right here.
Okay, let's try it. But it's still... Yeah, maybe
where else do you want to go?
Yeah.
What's the other option?
I don't know.
I think he's decided to come right in, Linda.
It's really the only way to protect against the guard way out in front. That yellow one, remember the one made earlier in this game by Kevin Martin? That can be run in at the moment, so he's trying to block both the tap and that run back by coming right into the house.
3, 4, 3.
Mine's good. Whoa. 3.
2, 3.
Yep, that's good.
Go.
Whoa. Whoa, guys. Whoa. Yeah, go now.
Look at that break on the yellow guard until now, and then goes sideways. Look at it go.
Hard. Okay, that's good.
It's not bad. We can actually run that now in front of theirs. We can actually run that into theirs now.
Yeah.
Kind of like this.
Huh?
Right now, the way it sits, like that being overlapped is saving us.
It's not there? I doubt it, eh?
What?
Raise.
It's definitely there. But, oh yeah, definitely.
You think?
Now. Oh, for sure, but let's have a little think about this.
Live look at Howard and Gushu. Glenn Howard with his final stone flashed the yellow stone sitting edge of the 8. And now the stone has to sit in time, and that will be for 2 for Gushu in a tie game.
What?
That's your natural shot. I think we're just...
Yellow?
Yeah, back line. Yeah, yellow on the yellow.
Okay. It is there.
Oh, for sure. You can hit it too thick, actually.
The bad news, they're going to be sitting 2.
You're talking about the yellow stone that sits just off the center line.
After they bump, you mean?
After we bump. Well, what are you talking about our shot here?
Yellow onto yellow.
Yeah.
We'll be line 2.
And then just bump this to somewhere here-ish.
So you need like hack weight though, eh?
That red rock there too is taking away that right now.
Yeah.
That red rock is taking this away too right now.
You don't leave none of theirs.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Or what about double peel?
Oh, he's just going to run it back there.
You hit this too thin. You hit that too thin, and he comes in here and makes this bump into. We got no shot. Like.
Okay, well let's play this then. You want?
Talking about rearranging the guards, the key is, do you want to try and move them off or actually get that yellow one to come in and do some damage?
If we're going to rack, though, this is the one to rack on, obviously. Move it over here somewhere.
You can also play this raise onto the yellow.
I'm going to have like...
then we leave his red in the top 8.
I'm going to throw like just through weights.
Yeah, kind of here.
Or hack, whatever.
Hack at the most.
Hack at the most, yeah. Okay, let's make it.
We're going to try and move that yellow guard, maybe rearrange the red closest to the rings and spill the yellow back onto the ones in the forefoot.
Ooh.
It's a very slow pace to the game night right now, Ray. Things have slowed down with all these angles being discussed. You really feel the change out there.
Don Walchuk, the last of the third stones.
Real hard!
4-3. Ferbey leading.
Hard.
I think John must be coming over the top of his release on his out turns because he's really losing those early.
Okay. All the way, Kevin. All the way. Good.
That was
Safe shot. And he's got the red now, too.
He's got the red.
Not a bad end result
How
as
do we
far as
take
the
it all the way?
cards are
We can't.
positioned.
Unless we bump our red in. I don't know
That
how
doesn't
that
help,
helps.
though.
No.
Which one do you want to give him?
Yeah, but if we're going to give him one, which one do you want to give him? Probably our red, right?
This one.
If he doesn't get by, he's
You
killing
know what?
himself.
You come right in the middle and you hold it.
Oh, yeah, give him this because, yeah, if he makes it, we got
No,
this
no.
tap.
What you want to do is actually move this over. If you come right to the middle and you move it over
Oh,
a little
just
bit, then he
throw-
doesn't have it.
Actually, we could throw that same way I threw.
Just a 3.
That same way I threw for those ones just up top. Sure.
Just to move it this way here.
Yeah.
I mean, but don't.
No, that's good.
Or corner freeze on the side of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a great example of how worried they are about the rocks in front and the positioning of them. You know, which one of the 2 rocks do you want to leave them? Can we take it both away? Can we take them both away? The accuracy of Kevin Martin is what is affecting this situation, the accuracy of all of them, quite frankly. But
Well, the last, eh?
this is the chess part of the game.
Maybe 4.
Carl, whoa, whoa.
Bump.
Hard. Hard. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yep. Hard. Hard. Go.
Not bad.
Now, the overlap means that the one stone can't be run right back. But what does that yellow mean where it ended up?
Well, it's a little open now. I mean, we're right behind that sheet. I think he can run it. He can run the yellow back onto the yellow stone. Remember, Kevin Martin has the hammer here. You can just see the wheels going around.
I don't really like opening that up.
No, I don't mind trying to do this. See what I can see.
Hit it too thick.
Too thin.
Too thin, yeah.
Here are all the scores
Try that
for
now.
Yeah, that's there.
That might not be a bad idea now.
You hit it wrong, though. They're line 2, eh?
Hit. Which, that one?
This one, hit it wrong. They're
Oh,
line
that
2.
one. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking, the outside yellow.
Oh, this one.
Yeah.
Just.
What makes this so interesting, it looks like everybody's thinking, I'm sure at home, just hit that yellow one closest to the rings.
Yeah,
the problem is, as soon as you move any of those stones tight to the rings, you're actually leaving something for your opponent as well. So Kevin's trying to find a way to get rid of that red stone on the button, but not leave Randy Ferbey an option back. And you can see, of course, they're all lining them up.
He might take it away from you. I guess.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
You got to score away from you, right?
Well,
Yeah.
you can
turn around here.
make this to line 2, too, right? Didn't make that shot. Roll the shooter over there.
Whatever you want to throw.
Yeah, what do you throw?
I think we got to throw this.
If we don't make it, though, he plugs it up and we're...
Yeah, but we don't have a lot of options right now.
This is almost a replay of that 1 in 5 that was made by Kevin Martin.
This is eating into the clocks of both teams. We know that Ferbey's already used a timeout.
Bad if you hit it wrong.
Both of them with just more than 20 minutes remaining. Kevin Martin, his first.
Whoa, never.
Close.
Now.
Yep. Yes.
What a beauty.
I'm still on the team. He's pretty good.
Good shot.
That's why he's
pretty
still
good
on
shot.
the team.
Well, there's no explanation needed, of course. What a wonderful shot. The double raise. He talked about it right from the very beginning. He started talking about it a couple of shots ago. And, you know, they didn't play the tight one, as Lyndon mentioned, because they didn't want to leave anything for David. And so they made the one that...
Where? Well, he's saying he'll just straight back.
Oh, so then why don't we go here?
There's very little
giving
left.
him two, I guess.
Well, what else we got?
Nothing.
Two's okay.
Well,
What's that? Choked off the raise.
Yeah. Well, all right, side by side then.
Yeah.
What a great shot by Kevin Martin.
He's doing
What do we
both
got?
one for three, then
Nothing.
He's just doing a
We
double
got
tap.
nothing.
If we're light, but
Oh, it's come right back here. Yeah. Right to the back button. That's,
yeah.
Buries it back button.
Okay, Dave.
Back in the kitchen. Oh, that's
We can go back button and it's walking. I like that.
Yeah, well, let us know.
Yeah. Well, it's you guys. It's just, you know.
No, I know, but for line.
What you don't want, I would think, is just to leave this hanging out somewhere.
No, you don't want to make the three a simpler shot. I won't say easy. Nothing seems easy out there today.
Gotta go for weight.
Back button is what David Nedowan thought. If it walks over, let's take it to the back button. Pfeiffer, Brock,
Back button.
it's walking. They're talking back button. Still walking. It's walking. This is where they want it. Back button. What a shot. T-line button.
Good night, Irene.
Well, you're really being...
Exactly what we didn't want.
I don't know. Did they set something
the
up
angle on the
big?
other side, yeah.
And they talked about this. I'm not sure how well they thought through the angles. This whole end is about angles and what you leave the opponent. It looks pretty. It looks like a brilliant shot, but look what Kevin Martin's about to line up as we see that rock come to an end. The big run back. And I don't know, it looks like it's a pretty natural, if there's ever something called a natural. Right?
Yellow onto yellow, onto red. Both reds will go.
What are the chances?
And then we'll let you count them, Vic.
Okay. Yellow, onto red, onto yellow, onto red.
You got it.
Here we go. Could it in fact be good night, Irene, as they had said? Final stone here in the seventh. Kevin Martin. 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at him go. 1, 2, 3, 4 from Martin.
Well, what can you say? That's one of the rare mistakes by Randy Ferbey and David Nedowan in positioning rocks, and a brilliant throw by Kevin Martin.
Well, you make a good point, Linda. They didn't line up the angles from the other side. And he loves to play these, and he plays them better than anybody. And look at this. They wait on it. 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's time to put yourself on top of the world.
You want to rock your world? There's just one way. Start with a visit to the Grand Old Roaring Game.
The Ford World Women's Curling Championship is just months away, and now there are more ways to be a part of it all with mini packs for 2, 3, or 4 days. Get your tickets now.
The Ford World Women's, all for you in Grand Prairie.
The 2006 Tim Hortons Briar is now available in all shapes and sizes. Our all-new mini packs give you the option of getting into the party gras spirit whenever your schedule allows.
Tim Hortons Briar, Regina Party Gras.
So, when do you want to get briared?
The first ever Briar, where you want to wear a mask. Hurry, hurry.
Get your tickets now.
The guides are here to replace the picture window.
Oh, I asked them to look at the broken windshield, too.
Next time, insist on someone you can trust. Call Speedy Glass for the Speedy Best Price Guarantee. It's your assurance we will not be undersold. Guaranteed. Plus, get air miles, reward miles. Speedy Glass.
Just in time for the holidays. Save $400 on this $6.99 1-carat diamond heart pendant. Now just $2.99. Hurry in. Quantities are limited. Exclusively at People's, the diamond store. Just in time for the holidays. Save $500 on these $8.99 diamond earrings. Now just $3.99. Hurry in. Quantities are limited. Exclusively at People's, the diamond store.
Canada's largest coast-to-coast mover, AMJ Campbell has been moving households and offices locally and internationally since 1934. As the official mover of Canada's Olympic teams, AMJ Campbell is dedicated to exceptional personalized service. Our Olympic teams trust us with their valuables, so can you. As the most trusted movers in Canada, AMJ Campbell is your source for your home, your office, or do-it-yourself move. Call AMJ Campbell.
TSN HD, redefining the image of sport. TSN HD is proudly presented by JVC. JVC, the HD technology leader.
The 2006 Tim Hortons Briar is now available in all shapes and sizes. Our all-new mini packs give you the option of getting into the party gras spirit whenever your schedule allows.
Tim Hortons Briar, Regina Party Gras.
So, when do you want to get briared?
The first ever Briar, where you wanna wear a mask. Hurry hard!
Get your tickets now!
Not hard to make this the key shot, brought to you by Cashmere. Now Cottonelle has even a softer name, Cashmere.
It's one of those exhausting kinds of ends because it's all about angles and what you leave the other guy. But the first one this end for Kevin Martin is another beautiful angle raise, tap back to set up the possibility of a big end, and he gets the chance.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and it was the first shot that set that up, and then uncharacteristically, Randy Ferbey and David Dennewan just didn't see the angle on the other side to set up that shot, and they just all disappeared.
So 4 on the board for Martin in the 7th here at the Metro Center in Halifax. And he takes a 7-4 lead as we go to the 8th. Ferbey with the hammer playing the Redstones.
Heavy clean.
No,
heavy
lots,
clean.
lots.
Lots. Make sure it's
Too
here.
much
Lift
room.
a little less. Too much room. Make sure it's here.
We're okay.
Make sure it's here.
All the way there.
Okay. Fine. Right here. Yep.
All the way there.
Go.
Okay. Nicely done, Don.
Player comparisons brought to you by Alexander Keith's. Those who like it a lot.
We talk about great leads in the game, and these two are two of the best. We're looking at a 90% type average for the week if you want to beat these top leads.
Real hard.
Both of them at that sort of numbers, and of course both make big contributions in the
go,
brushing
go,
as
more,
well.
More.
When we started looking at the numbers, and I
go.
say we, you primarily, we thought that if you could play a week in the 80s, that was a reasonable week. Do you think it's increased? Average has gone up. People are playing that much better?
People are playing better. Ice is better. Stones, they have more knowledge. Yeah, the numbers are going up for sure. And Marcel Rock has been hitting around 90 to 91, 92 range at his Briars. Look at that.
Carter Rycroft going to try and finish him off right here.
Well, that's the weapon they bring, the ability to make the defensive style game after they get the lead, right?
Yeah, it's hard to come back against a team like this because they do play that big weight so well. They can, it's just not the peel, it's the double peel, as we just finished seeing. They get them all, and this will be a tough task now, and Randy and David know it, to get back against a team like Kevin Martin. You said that perfectly, that it was an exhausting end, that last end, and it just set up and left Kevin Martin of those kind of shots he just loves to play, and he plays them better than anyone I know. Sometimes the big weight can hurt him, but he's come down on it a little bit too. I think he plays it it's big, it's strong, but it's a more controllable weight than he used to play at one time.
And if you think about his two biggest raises in this game, not the big hit ones, but the two raises from out in front, they were very soft.
Absolutely, good point.
The other thing too is, as we look at the numbers for Pfeiffer and Rycroft at the second position, you're right. There were times we would watch Kevin Martin and think he's playing the big shot for the dramatics of it. We thought that that's all he wanted to play. Is he more thoughtful with his big shots than Linda?
I think so. I mean, it's nice to be able to say, I've got every weapon in the book and I can bring it out whenever I want. And yes, the big runbacks are a part of Kevin's game, but I would say that he's worked very extensively really since the early 90s, but especially the last few years in fine-tuning the delicate part of his game. And it's pretty formidable when you see what this team can bring to the ice.
And not just Kevin, John Walchuk is another one that, you know, if he had an Achilles heel, or the Curtis used to think maybe it was Don's ability to play those soft come-arounds, but he's changed that too. If we go back with Don, of course, to Lausanne and to Milwaukee, as you already mentioned, Vic, and he's always been able to throw the big weight shot, but he also is. The whole team. We saw Carter Rycroft's numbers. I mean, goodness gracious.
Yeah, tough to beat that. But it has been a back and forth game. The numbers are really not indicative of the fact that we had each team dragging the momentum their way. Big shots by Kevin Martin, but equally that shot in 6, David Nedewin's draw against 4.
Trying to get it behind. They want it behind it. Oh, just
keep getting rid of rocks.
Live look at Glenn Howard against Brad Gushu in a 6-6 tie as they play in the 8th. And this is a draw against 2. You'll need a piece of 4-foot. Glenn Howard out of the Coldwater and District Curling Club in Coldwater, Ontario, not far from Orillia. And all on its own with Brent Lang, Craig Saville backing off. Richard Hart, nothing there. There's Gushu, needs to stop and stop in a hurry. And it'll go too far. It looks like a steal of 1 for sure, maybe 2. They're having a quick look. It went too far. My goodness, a big mistake by Glenn Howard. Gives up the steal of 2. Gushu leads now by a couple going to the 9th.
Bump it back here.
That's a sick feeling when you know that as a brusher, as a thrower, as a holder of the broom, you see it coming in. There's nothing you can do to it. It's just sliding and sliding, and as you mentioned, it could just slid too far.
Rim. 8, 9.
Big 2 points.
Rim. Yep. Rim. Rim. It's good. Needs to curl.
And trying to get it behind the 2 stones that sit in the 4-foot, trying to get it covered. And with late movement like that, you can do this. It's just trying to get it to in behind those 2, and hoping maybe Kevin will make a mistake. Hit one of the front ones by mistake.
Big numbers again for the 3rd stones, and you look at Randy Ferbey skipping and throwing 3rd stones. Huge at 90%, Vic. That is higher than we often see for many people at that position. Hasn't been the technical aspects of those positions. A little bit of a mistake by Randy skipping the game has been pretty costly.
Yep. Clean. Pull. Up.
Any 8? Never had it missed, just never had it made by much. If it floats at all, we're dead.
Well, the thing is, the numbers have come up. But look at David's hit percentage. That's been very costly. And actually, though, ironically enough, it was his draw positioned incorrectly in the last end. That was the problem.
Well, David will try and get out of this end now in blanket. He's playing the double here.
Important to stick around on this one, boys.
Well, a reminder to stay with us. Coming right up, the Desjardins Vanier Cup, Saskatchewan Huskies, Wilfrid Laurier Golden Hawks for the CIS Football Championship. It's coming up immediately following here on TSN.
That's good, Carter. That's good.
Be a little careful with jumping them early, eh? Might go backwards.
Yeah.
Like your first one there. Oh, man. We jumped that one and
Let's see, this one?
your first one.
Yeah, I thought we missed it, actually. Like, it never did go off
No.
it, but it was close.
Yeah.
That's a good point on this kind of ice where the break is all late, and if you jump them too early, you'll straighten them up a little bit. My brushing doesn't cause that, I can tell you that. When my team wants more curl, they ask me to brush.
Lane.
Final stone here in the 8th. Facing a couple. David Nedwin.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
And sits there for his one. So through 8, Kevin Martin leads by a couple, and he'll have the hammer when we come back to Halifax.
All the way from the craftsmanship to the perfect pour. All the way from its introduction to becoming the #1 light beer in the world. All the way from an exacting brewing process to the easy drinking taste. All the way from the line to inside the club. All the way from the brewmaster to the bartender. When it goes down this smooth, make it a Bud Light. Smooth all the way.
Please join me at the 2006 Men's World Curling Championship at the Songus Arena in beautiful Lowell, Massachusetts, April 1st through 9th. Besides watching the best curler in the world compete, there's a lot to do in Lowell. And Boston is only 30 minutes away. Tickets and hotel packages are available now. Call 888-WCC-2006 or visit us online. The 2006 World Men's Curling Championship, sweeping the world while brushing with history.
Painting is a lot of work, but it can really be rewarding. It really helps to be a true value paint expert. With 900 colors and color made simple, we've made it even easier to get the right shade. So come on in and see what's shaking.
True value. Help is just around the corner. Never stop enjoying life. Strauss Herb Company, bringing science and tradition together for a brighter future.
We've changed Cottonelle over the years. Now we're giving it a softer name. Cottonelle is changing its name to Cashmere.
TSN HD, redefining the image of sport. TSN HD is proudly presented by JVC. JVC, the HD technology leader.
The 2006 Tim Hortons Briar is now available in all shapes and sizes. Our all-new mini packs give you the option of getting into the party gras spirit whenever your schedule allows.
Tim Hortons Briar with China Party Bra.
So, when do you want to get briared?
The first ever Briar, where you wanna wear a mask. Hurry, hurry!
Get your tickets now!
The Metro Center in Halifax, the Canadian curling trials. At the end of 9 days, one men's team, one women's team will be the Canadian representatives for the Winter Olympics in Turin in February. Kevin Martin has been there before. Randy Ferbey would like to get there. As we go to the 9th, 7-5, Martin leading, and he has the hammer playing the Yellowstones.
Bite top 4. Bite top 4.
Oh, not deep, no good.
Line doesn't matter.
No, it's all the way there.
Okay. Bite
Let it
top
die.
4.
Let it die. Let it die.
Whoa! Bite top 4.
Now we gotta go.
Okay. Easy, guys. Very nice, Don.
Bite the top 4. Would you say that's a bite of the top 4?
Mm-hmm. That's what it would be.
Try to stay off of this early if you can.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm all there.
I think I'd play this one short.
3. Throw 3.
Get the center line.
3.
Hard.
Yep.
That's a perfect spot.
Shot, ready?
It looks like just pretty simple stuff, throwing 2 guards, but look at the great separation between those guards, making it harder to peel once Martin has that chance, which he doesn't at this point.
You don't like this at all, or what? Huh? I like this, don't you? Okay.
Top 8.
This is interesting. Sean Morris has been in control for most of the game against Jeff Stoughton. But here, Morris, out of Calgary, is drawing against 3. And he needs a good chunk of the 4-foot. Morris, the former Canadian and world junior champion. With Mark Kennedy, Paul Moffat, Kevin Cooey is his 3rd. Needs full 4 and needs to sit in time. Nice shot, he holds on, and it's handshakes, and we have our first winner here in the men's first draw as Morris will go into the book, make the final 8-4 over Stoughton.
Interesting shot. If you happen to miss that, you have a tie game.
Yeah.
He makes it, and you shake hands.
5, 6.
I'm not sure I would have been quitting there, but
6, 7, 7.
I know it's 4 down, but
That situation arose on that other sheet because of a run-back peel attempt that took off the wrong stone. So a little bit of a mistake. It's a nice draw. And here go the guards. So,
You know, further to, sorry, Linda, but further to Morris, Ray, you made mention earlier when you said, you know, you've got to get through Alberta. You think that Morris may be the we'll have something to say before it's all done. Huh?
Yeah, I do. You know, is he a dark horse? Yeah. We've talked about the 2 top teams. They're featured, but there's not, the thing about it, Linda, you and I talked about this too. There isn't one single team on this ice, and especially in the men's section, that doesn't believe in their hearts they can win this thing. All of them. And that's how close the competition is.
Put that back a lot.
Kevin Cooey, the 3rd for Morris. People may remember as a former Canadian mixed champion. As we, oh my, look at this. What a mess. Adams, Stacey, final stone is on its way from Sean Adams. And we'll just watch this land and then we'll take a look. 1, 2, 3, and when it's all said and done, 1 for sure for Adams. Now take a look. Is it 2?
His one, I think, isn't he, Vic?
Pretty close. Have another look, Ray. What do you think? I'll give you a chance to change your opinion.
I think they're going to measure, so
Okay.
I'll stay right out of it.
One for sure.
Come on. A moment ago, you had 3 in there.
Come on, come on, come on. Come on.
Timed at about 22.
It was 6-5. Now 7-5 for Adams. And here comes the measuring stick, and we'll update you.
Carter with the peel.
Yep.
Really hard.
Okay, okay.
That was a great throw. They said he was a little outside on the first. So that one was picture perfect.
Good guard. Could come in with bumper and do this. Roll everything behind.
I don't mind this setup because we can always come in with the ultra and tap it back here. I mean, he's got a, you know what I mean? You can get to the nose on that thing, but he's got this all day, which is fine. He's got this nose hit to here. If we come and tap this one right now.
Right now?
Right through the nose. What's he got?
Well, he's going to run this one.
All right.
And here's the measure between Adams and Dacey. Adams Stone is the yellow stone. Dacey Stone. And so it's just 1 for Adams.
Well, the waist is down a couple of inches, but the eyes are still pretty solid.
Looks good. Where is it? Room? Whoa, whoa. Whoa, let it curl. Yep. Hard.
Just trying to bring it by or get a better angle, thinner. They're desperately looking for angles, which
Go right through the
is
hole.
not easy right now.
There might be a hole. It's right through. Yay.
The guard, he can't cover everything, right? You can see a little over half.
I think you come off of ours, it goes right through the hole.
I don't like this.
Huh?
They don't like this because you heard Kevin say this could come off of here and go right through that
hole. If I hit it
hole.
on the nose, no, that's no good.
That's no good. Do you think there's a hole through there? Have a look.
Awful close.
Exactly.
I don't think I can get rid of both anyway, can I?
Well, you sure can off of this one, of course. Goes easy then.
Off the back
Or
one?
nose.
Yeah, nose is no good.
Nose, you get rid of that one, right? Or,
And then I go right through the hole.
yeah.
Like, to me, this isn't going to hurt us, I don't think. I'd like to see just blast it into it. I don't think there's a hole there. I think we'll try to hit this one. Okay. Like, make it like this.
Either that or peel the guard. And he makes the double, though.
Reminder again, immediately following our coverage of this opening men's draw. From here in Halifax, the Lady Jardin Vanier Cup. Saskatchewan, Wilfrid Laurier coming up next on TSN.
Yep. Hard. Hard. Hard.
Uh-oh. He didn't think there was a hole, and look at that. Wow.
He actually thought if you got to the nose of that one, it was going to be something that didn't work. It worked pretty well.
Yeah. Blair, he almost
Apparently
hit the
there
top
was a
one.
hole.
Huh?
Hit them both at the same time. There was no hole.
I hit her yellow one first.
Yeah, which made her go right towards the hole. But there wasn't one. Hit them both same time.
Yeah, there was no hole. He's right. It looked like there was a hole.
should be good. Run, run. Got a three, just a three.
Got to curl a bit. Got to curl.
Carry it. Just a curl.
Got to curl a bit. Yeah, finish it.
Go.
Yeah, go. Hard.
Clean, yep. Hard. Clean.
Now it's all about keeping it clean. Leaving nothing to use.
I'd play the outturn here.
I think the intern's got a better finish.
Outturn might be more controllable.
What's that?
Live look, Gushu with a line 3 against Glenn Howard.
They like the outturn.
They're
Off
trying to
of
see,
one,
trying to see if
back
there's
it
a
up.
triple there.
Really? So you come off the one, maybe catch the back of the stone, which is on the button, Linda? Is that the thought there?
They have to get over and make contact with the other one as well, so.
One, move it far enough. And they did, to keep himself alive.
Clean.
But Brad Gushu will have an 8-7 lead coming home.
That's pretty good, I think.
Room.
Get better, yeah. Close.
Hard. 8.
Go.
Hard.
Bye, we're by. Go. Yep.
Go there.
Take it back as far as they can, looking for separation, as long as it's shot rock. Kevin's going to try and run it back, feel them both. Certainly can't have it come across the face and drive it back onto your own. But
You also don't want to leave something else out there and just miss the back one.
Oh, yeah.
This is the beauty of Kevin Martin and actually all these players' ability to throw the big weight, because usually the thrown stone will roll off no matter what. Look at the weight.
Run it back, got it, and he does. Wow.
You know, that the one thing about those big weight shots is if you're rolling along and feeling confident, they're a lot easier. You could see when Kevin was lining that up, he knew he was going to throw the extra weight. He comes out pretty fast, and then that arm extension to add even more weight. And if you have that arm extension off at all, you're not going to make it. But nice and pure right through to the broom.
yeah, when you're going good, those they look like the size of tires down there.
Room.
Weight's good.
Got room.
You need to go here.
Oh, come on, curl.
Close. This has got a long ways to go.
Go. Yeah, go hard. Go. Well, I don't know.
Wide open.
It is.
Only making sure it gets just kind of like this.
Oh, on the hair, right on the center line. I got it. Right on the line, though. Holy shit.
Go after the deuce, make sure of the one.
Make sure of the one. Give me 3 up. 3 up. Okay. What do you want thinking, Don? Boards down normal?
No matter what happens in this game, you have to really just put it aside. Randy Ferbey struggled a lot today with the ice and the positioning of stones, but it's a long week.
Make sure you got one. Final stone here in 9. And 1 it will be. So Kevin Martin
A little more aggressive on
on his way to a win. He's up by 3.
This is the famous Budweiser beer. We know of no brand produced by any other brewer which costs so much to brew and age. Our exclusive Beechwood aging produces the taste, the smoothness, and the drinkability you'll find in no other beer at any price. Bright, crisp, clean. This is Budweiser. This is beer.
Please join me at the 2006 Men's World Curling Championship at the Songus Arena in beautiful Lowell, Massachusetts, April 1st through 9th. Besides watching the best curler in the world compete, there's a lot to do in Lowell. And Boston is only 30 minutes away. Tickets and hotel packages are available now. Call 888-WCC-2006 or visit us online. The 2006 World Men's Curling Championship, sweeping the world while brushing with history.
They say football is a game of inches. I wish we had inches.
The Scott Tournament of Hearts, proud sponsor of women's curling for 25 years.
The 2006 Tim Hortons Briar is now available in all shapes and sizes. Our all-new mini packs give you the option of getting into the party gras spirit whenever your schedule allows.
Tim Hortons Briar, Regina Party Gras.
So, when do you want to get briared?
The first ever Briar, where you wanna wear a mask. Hurry up!
Get your tickets now!
We invented the game. We created our competitors. They imitated us. They learned from us. They built on what we knew. But it's time to remember who we are. It's time to stop letting others steal our game. It's not about taking off the gloves. It's about taking off the blinders. So when we have an edge, we're going to use it. Without apology.
When you change your attitude, that changes everything.
The 2005 Tim Hortons Canadian Curling Trials on TSN are brought to you by Tim Hortons Limited Canister and Mug.
We already have one final. John Morris, the winner over Jeff Stoughton. Our featured game here in this opening draw of men's play, the Canadian Curling Trials from Halifax, and Kevin Martin leads by 3 over Randy Ferbey, and Ferbey, playing the Redstones, does have the hammer.
Oh, I mentioned to you in the break, I was just a little bit surprised, I guess is the word, that Kevin wasn't a little bit more concerned about getting his deuce there. I mean, I know a 3-point lead is big, but Randy does have last rock, and with the new rule, we see 3s scored quite often, Linda, so that 4th point may have been big, you know, maybe big.
I think he just felt down that center line, just make it go away first, and he threw enough weight. It was going to be tough. You're right, Ray. If he'd thrown a little less weight, it might have been a little easier to stick around.
Time may be a factor for Ferbey. He's under 6 minutes now, has 1 timeout remaining. Martin still has both of his timeouts to use. It's Saskatchewan and Wilfrid Laurier, the Desjardins Vanier Cup for the CIS Football Championship. It's coming right up next here on TSN.
We desperately would like a nose here, but I wouldn't be counting on it too much.
If you're a betting man, you don't bet on that one.
Everybody would love to get off to a good start, Linda. We know that. And we talked about it this morning and last evening. But I don't think, you know, Ferbey, if he should lose this, they're too experienced to have this rattle them.
No, you're right. Not a chance is this going to rattle him. I mean, he doesn't like to lose. None of us do. He especially doesn't like to lose to Kevin. You talked about the rivalry within the province of Alberta. I mean, you add John Morris to that mix, and boy, I'll tell you, is it going to be tough to get out of that province to get to the Brier. But no. They've lost. We saw them, you know, lose that heartbreaker to Mark Dacey, come back the next year and win the Brier. Goodness gracious. And the Worlds.
Interesting you mentioned that, because next up for Ferbey is Morris. Sunday morning. Pat Ryan up by 3 with the hammer against Jay Peachy. Brad Gushu has the last rock and up by 1 on Glenn Howard. That's our featured game, and slowly being run out of rocks. Ferbey. There's John Morris, a winner over Stoughton, and Sean Adams up by 2 against Mark Dacey in a battle of clubmates from the Mayflower here in Halifax.
What turners you prefer?
Out.
We have our second final as Pat Ryan has run Jay Peachy out of stones in the 10th for a 7-4 win. Pat Ryan.
Yep. Good shot. Good throw.
Just a great job of getting rid of those front stones, excuse me, by the Martin team, and something we've said before, they really can move the granite very well.
Well, it's the Martin team, really, in my opinion, that played the major role in the CCA and the World Curling Federation, but more so the CCA making that decision. It goes back to actually both teams are here, Jeff Stoughton and Kevin Martin in Hamilton. Vic, you remember
1991.
that game? Kevin Martin made a great draw for 2 in the first end, and Jeff Stoughton could not get another rock in play the entire rest of the game. No. And it was, I remember, you know, coming back on the air and after a break in the 6th end and saying to our viewing audience, if you remember ends 3, 4, 5, and 6, you'll know what's happened out here.
Well, people started to boo.
Yeah, it was. I remember Jeff put his hat down and tried to draw around it.
Yeah.
So that they just and rightly so, the game, they made a wonderful change with the sport, and as a result, we're back seeing shots like we've been able to watch today. I mean, run backs and raises and freezes and draws.
And hands like this, Vic. Look at the mess over on E.
Sean Adams up by 2, of course, yellow stones, and you can see what he's got. He's lying 1, and Mark Dacey desperate to get something going. I don't think you could throw anything hard enough to move all that.
Yeah. Well, Mark can throw it pretty hard, but
I don't know if he can throw it hard and make his rock jump forward, though, to count a second point.
Back 8 weight, Bruce. Lots of ice. I'll just try to swoop it in there.
was a great shot by Sean Adams. Just, you know, we got some future in our game out here with John Morris and Sean Adams and Brad Gusher. Tremendous for our sport. That is the future of the game, and
no handle.
It's looking good. As we, this is, we're not saying Torino, we're saying Turin.
Turin.
Right, okay. And then the next one, Linda, goes to Vancouver.
That's right. Mark Dacey trying to throw this in an unusual fashion to get extra curl. This has to go sideways in a matter of a foot to make the right contact.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Well,
they didn't touch it. They didn't touch it. He didn't want him to touch it. Who knows, maybe a little bit of brushing would have snuck it by. But Sean Adams picks up the win in this all-Mayflower, all-Halifax game. 8-5 the final. And in our game, it is Martin running. Ferbey out of stones. The final here is 8-5 Martin.
Oh, man.
This Sports Center update is brought to you by People's Jewelers. Happy holidays from People's, the Diamond Store.
Hey everybody, Corey Warren back here inside the Sports Center newsroom. Next edition of the show coming up at 6 o'clock Eastern time. Quick peek at the stories that we'll have for you on that edition of the show. Some NHL action for you. Wild and Devils second period. Sergei Brylin picks up the puck, feeds Jay Pandolfo for his 5th of the year. 1-0 Devils after 2. 9 more games on the sked tonight. Joe Thornton will look to continue his fine start with the San Jose Sharks as they face off against the Maple Leafs in Toronto. Sherry Ford will have a full preview of that game. And the Saskatchewan Huskies and Laurier Golden Hawks are meeting at Ivor Stadium today in Hamilton as they fight for the Desjardins Vanier Cup. We've got that game coming up right away, right here on TSN. All this and a whole lot more coming up on the early edition of Sports Center, 6 o'clock Eastern time, 3 o'clock Pacific time. We'll get you back to a quick wrap of curling after this.
Hi, I'm Randy Ferbey. If your typical day is anything like mine, I recommend new Strauss Vitamind, a broad-spectrum dietary supplement for people with an active lifestyle. Strauss Vitamind is available at your local health product retailer.
The Hitachi Big Screen Blitz is on. Purchase any Hitachi television or LCD projector and receive an official NFL jacket with team logo of your choice. Plus, there's a 2-year warranty on selected plasma models. Hitachi, inspire the next.
The 2005 Tim Hortons Canadian Curling Trials on TSN are brought to you in part by Strauss Herb Company, makers of the original Strauss Heart Drops, when only the best will do. By Scott Paper Limited, proud sponsor of curling for 25 years. And by Ford, built for life in Canada.
Stay with us, coming right up. The Desjardins Vanier Cup, Saskatchewan, Wilfrid Laurier. Just one game remains. That's on sheet B. Glenn Howard with his final stone, down by one, just buried one. Back of the 8-foot behind his own guard. And now it's up to Brad Gusher. This is a cold draw. He needs to get it to the 4-foot. 4-foot now, fellas. You got to get it to the 4-foot. Mike Adam, Jamie Korab trying to drag it. Here comes Russ Howard. Need the 4-foot for the win. They got it there.
Russ giving his brother Glenn a little tap.
9-7 the final. And we're thinking that's the first time in a national competition that the two Howards have faced each other. A reminder, we're back with you. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. Second draw women's play. Colleen Jones, Marie-France LaRouche. Now, on behalf of all of us here, thank you for joining us. Kevin Martin is a winner over Ferbey in our feature in our opening men's draw. Stay with us. The Desjardins Vanier Cup is coming right up. And of course, it's all right here on Canada's sports leader, TSN.